It's the Tonya Burn Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that file. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up. We're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tonya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. In a step it all renews.
Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Listen, y'all, I had some technical difficulty, and it is my bad. Producer Jay, how you doing? Well, where everybody
Good.
at?
I'm good. How you?
Good. We got a special guest, activist Arthur Woodson. Y'all know how this gonna go. Not scripted. You know, it's not going to go scripted. He had jokes earlier today. So Producer Jay, first, thank you for what you do. And Woodson, thank you for coming on. If those who don't know you, he is Arthur Woodson, City of Flint activist. He's worked with the water crisis, currently working on cancer cluster study. How are you today, Woodson?
Man, I can't wait to talk about your intro.
Don't come for me today. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I swear to God, I'm trying to be serious, but I'm thinking about I'm thinking about your voice message. I'm thinking about your intro. Hey man, I don't know what the hell going on with you, but man,
I ain't getting ready to let you dog me like that. Listen, listen. We
did
get
you
ready
ask,
to
did you
we
ask
get ready to be.
Siri or did you ask Alexa to pick
I
you out
didn't
of
know
two?
that was gifted to me. That was gifted to me by Pastor Jordan. I have thanked him for it.
Man,
I know I
who
can't
the
sing.
hell is Pastor Joy? I don't know Pastor Joy.
But
Take
look,
that.
if I had her voice, let me tell you, I would have had a whole different career. I wished I could. Remember, I'm still mad because I couldn't get the solo at Black or AME Zion
Hey
Church.
man,
And
who
I wanted to
promoting who,
sing.
man?
Look,
Who promoting who, man? I mean,
look,
yo,
you
hey
been
man, I'm
hated.
sitting up
You
here.
been hated.
I'm sitting up here listening to your intro, Tanya. I swear to God, man. I'm like,
I'm gonna
man,
keep it in your
what
head.
type? I mean, your voicemail sound like that 1-800 number that we used to have back in the day. That 1-800 call sex.
You know, I had that voicemail is very old. That
Oh my
voicemail at
God.
least 10 years old.
Hey,
It's at least 10 years old. And what happened, I had come back. So what I used to do was buy phones for my two oldest kids at the same time. And my daughter was
uh-huh.
like, I'm setting up your voicemail. So by the time I got back off the highway from Chicago, I had to go to my office first to pick up my cell phone. And she wouldn't set up my voicemail. So when I got off the highway, I had a bottle of wine. My dad was there. We were just chilling.
Hey, Your
I had
voicemail,
to make
man. I
your
swear to
voicemail.
God, man. When I first heard your voicemail, I was like looking for buttons on the elevator, right? I was I was like, is this an elevator prop or what, man? Hey, let me push a button, man. No,
Ready to
hey,
play
it
with you.
just. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to start out. Hello, everyone.
You're too late. I told you this wasn't gonna be. Listen, I want to tell you thank you to my moderators, Sheena Becton and Patrick Jean. Thank y'all for watching the comments and doing what you do, because this show cannot be done without the two moderators and producer Jay. So we're gonna start this, y'all. I gotta keep you back. I gotta keep you on track. So we have been talking about not talk. I like Reese Waters. I like history. I like the hot thing is that was it Nottingham, the largest antebellum plantation that burned. And so we were briefly talking about that's look, wherever you are, because I can't see y'all. I'm on a smaller thing today because I was literally having some problems today. So I can't see nobody. Look, this is getting ready to be really, really, this ain't working right. I can take that out and turn it this way. So wherever you are calling from, hey, Tasha Lynn, let me run down the line. Art can probably see it. He need to be saying what's up to everybody since he want to get on
I
here and
can't
crack.
see it. I'm, a- I was cooking earlier, so I can't
Did
see
you?
anything. I hadn't heard but jump on through my phone, so I can't
Yeah,
see
okay.
anything.
Well, hey, JP6, Christine Leach, Tasha Lynn. We have got Stephanie Rogers, Meat Freaks Barbecue, Eddie Gray, Joseph Williams, JL. We got Rhonda Atkins, Cheryl Hart, Melissa Zaremski. We got Aluna Calloway Lang, Dr. Padroni, Avis Hopkins on here. Some high art. Art is the mess on here already. I'm just letting y'all know. He was cracking jokes this morning. Lee Williams, I said me,
Hey,
JL.
you have to
Double
excuse me,
black.
man.
Hey, AJ, you was talking big mess. Art Murphy, Jade Williams, Reed Stewart, Auntie M. Truth be told, listen, and if I did not call your name, charge it to my mind and not to my heart. I promise you. So we gonna look, Nay Lachey, Dr. Marvin Tiller Jr. Hey, so you can't see none of this. Big Shady, you represented. You represent. I represent, baby. Listen, um, Shard, how are you? We haven't seen you in a long
Scotty
time.
Sharp. No. I seen him in person, right?
Where?
And he told me, he said, man, somebody hacked his account. So he's Raekwon. I think it's Raekwon, something like that. He
Oh,
he, he has a different name. It's not Shardy Shard anymore. It's
okay. Right.
called Raekwon.
It was just on there, wasn't it, Shardy?
Not under Shardy. He ain't
Okay,
been on the Shardy for a long time because
okay.
somebody hacked his account and he changed it. So Shardy Shard's still on here, but it's under Raekwon or some to that effect.
Oh, look, and Deacon Dumas is on, and hey, congratulations, Deacon Dumas, to you moving on
Deacon
to the
Doomis.
primary in August. He's on here. Jade Williams, Big Shady 11, Ramon Stripling, Kathleen Trouser, Christine Leach. And look, if I missed y'all name, y'all charge it to my mind and not my heart. Yo is on here. And look, and good evening to everyone. Y'all know I got my hands full. I got to keep Woodson in line, and that is like an impossible task. So, we are it is impossible. So we're gonna start out with this. The plantation, the internet is killing it. We're gonna briefly talk about it, then we're gonna I'm gonna get into the history of it on Tuesday. So let's play that first video because we got to touch on it, y'all. So producer Jay, do your thing.
Hey, can I comment?
What? Who gonna
Huh?
wait for me? Who gonna stop you? I mean,
No, I mean, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna. Oh my God, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna swear. All right, whichever word you like to use. We have a lot of those houses here in Flint. Matter of fact, we got one over on Robert T. Longway. We have a lot of Negroes here in the city of Flint that would love to live in that type of house. It's a lot of Negroes that's crying that that house burnt down. It's a lot of Negroes that don't even care that that house burnt down. It's a lot of Negroes that's running around that won't even set fire to the other mansions that's like that mansion right there. What's wrong with us Negroes? Why do we seem to be the type of Negroes that fight each other to be the house Negro? You have a lot of plantation Negroes that fight to move into the house of the master. They they fight to be the gatekeeper. They We're so materialistic that we will sell our soul, we will sell our mother, we will sell our grandkids. We'll sell whatever it is. Look at P. Diddy. A lot of them went up in there selling booty. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm just being real. A lot of men sell booty to be famous, to have money, to have whatever it is.
okay, and then we're
Why
gonna
do
bring
we
this back around the battle track. Look, the Diddy thing, I just don't. I'm really maybe because there's so much happening for that I can't put my head around it. One, the part domestic violence. She was brutally attacked by him. She made an agreement with him for 20 million, which the story came out anyways. People's sexual habits, I will always look. It is none of Tanya Burns' business. I will be consistent in saying I will stay out of people's bedroom because I don't want nobody in mine. I'm going to be consistent with that. So, what level he like of his freak level ain't my business. What they're getting him on and trafficking, the case is a lot. It's a lot, but this is a lifestyle that
but
we
Tanya,
never
I'm
see,
not
and it's
Tanya,
wrapped up in money and fame, and it's wrapped up in Hollywood. And the thing with the baby oil, I mean, these are what they do. And
Tanya,
then, did I
Tanya.
interrupt you? Did I interrupt you?
Yes, I'm
No,
not.
right there.
No, but I was done with that part. I'm not talking about that part. Bedroom, freak Nick, all that. I'm
Well,
not.
you
I'm
said
not
they sell
speaking.
booty.
I'm not. Huh?
You said they sell booty.
I said, but what I'm speaking of, Tanya, I'm not speaking of them selling booty. I don't care what they do in the bedroom. What I'm saying is, we in the African American community, we base success on materialistic things. What I'm saying is, people will sell a soul. Let's take booty out of it. Then we will sell our soul in order to be famous, in order to have a name, in order to be somebody. You have people running around here in Flint that will vote Democrat, that will vote for Gretchen Whitmer just because she took a picture with them, or just because they was on the news with the mayor for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, just because they just happen to be seen. I mean, what I'm saying is, we 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 can't come together in this group. African American group, we are the only group that have never fought our oppressors. Tell me one war or one time that we rebelled against our oppressors.
Okay, and that's not what we're gonna be on this today. But I see what you're saying.
All right, you
The
shouldn't start
burning
it.
down, the
You
burning
started
down.
with.
Diddy stuff is a whole show, and
Oh
seeing
no,
these
I'm not.
spots,
I'm not
yeah.
speaking
I
about
mean,
Diddy.
but when you're talking about, I think people do a lot of things for fame. People don't know when you mention it, which is a great part of history. Even I was at the Whaley House today for the etiquette certification where they receive their graduation. Whaley is a historical house, and they have a main staircase and they have a back staircase for the servants. Black people didn't live in those homes in this area. We did not. It
So,
wasn't slavery
so
then, but we were separated. You couldn't be on certain sides of the town. So servants' quarter, like where we ate, as I was explaining to some of the girls, you would have never been able to eat there in the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the early 1900s. You wouldn't have been able to eat in the dining room, the sitting room, the parlor, or any of that. And so we do have a lot of mansions, and a lot of them are downtown. They're Victorian mansions, and over on Eighth Ward, you have they really are mansions over there, and the mansions. I mean, they have servant quarters. There is and one day I took a tour of them, and some of them, one is a Mediterranean style mansion, and there was a lot of money in Flint. And these mansions are very well preserved over there. And when you go in, the craftsmanship that's in them, look, they were not owned by Black people, and they are not owned by Black people today. They're not. But we were servants there. I mean, and you can. I mean, some used to have like the stables with the garage. Yes, thank you, producer Jay. So this is where today they had the Madame Mercedes etiquette and table, and they had the young ladies were dressed. This was if we took this 50 years ago. How am I now? Maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe 60 years ago, you couldn't have eaten in this house. This is a Victorian mansion on the corner of Kersley and I believe Selby, or is it Longway? And she holds her classes there, working with the Whaley Institution. She had 12 young girls, and they were so beautifully dressed. And it was nice for them to be there. Then I always talk about a historical component to it. And so this is a Victorian mansion, but they have some big mansions over on the other side on Eighth Ward, big ones. And you have some famous architecturally designed houses. We have a Frank Lloyd Wright home that we have. Matter of fact, Dennis Pfeiffer lives in a Frank Lloyd Wright home, which is one of my favorite architects. And his home is a Frank Lloyd Wright home that's here in the city of Flint. So Flint comes from a very rich background of mansion. Art is correct. But let's get into this. I want to talk about the you see the young ladies there. Thank you, producer Jay. So I want to get into you have been going and following the court cases. Before we put the video up, tell us the court cases that you've been in court with this week.
This week, whoa.
Or the
Well,
last
week, week before last.
Okay.
It was dealing with Miss Leanne. Online, her name is Leanne Cooper. But in person, it's Crystal Cooper. She's the mother of Lamar and Zaire Mitchell. And then you have DeAndre Mitchell, who's the dad. I have to get in the habit of saying his name. And the only reason why I don't say his name is because I have been working closely with Crystal, and it just unfolded like that, and I've been working with both of them simultaneously, and it's nothing against DeAndre or Crystal or nothing else, right? It's just that I keep forgetting to say DeAndre. So DeAndre, I got you, bruh. But we went to court down in Lansing for Lamar and Zaire. The
So you've been
city,
to court, and you've been to court. So originally it was court, and then they won in the lower courts. Is that correct?
right? Um,
And then it went to
they
appeals
they
court.
filed they filed a summary disposition, and anyone or everybody or people that don't know, a summary disposition is something that the defendant filed to get the case kicked out before anything else is done. Majority of the time, a summary disposition is done after discovery. And it's saying, hey, you know what? They don't have any evidence. They don't have any of this. They don't have any of that. They don't have anything on me. You need to kick this out. But with the city of Flint, the lawyer for Crystal stated that the lawyer for the firefighters told him that William Kim, which was the city of Flint attorney, told him to proceed with the appeal, but the lawyers for the firefighters told him that we can't win. He said, proceed anyway.
So this was after they lost in the lower court.
After they lost in the lower court, he told them to appeal. He said, if we don't get anything else, I know we can't win, but we can delay. We can delay. They delayed this case for 18 months. And if you read those documents right there, and
So those are the court documents which are located on your page. The fire happened, I believe, in May 2022.
Correct. And if you read those documents, and if you understand the language, the law language, you will see that the appellate court put it to where even if he does deny the summary disposition after discovery meaning after depositions, after getting all the evidence and going in front of the judge saying, hey, this is what we have. No matter what you receive, there's question of fact of gross negligence and duty and causation.
So there was a ruling that came down. And so we're going to play. Can you play the video, Producer Jay? And then you'll pick back up after the video, Art.
All right.
In continuing coverage this morning, the Michigan Court of Appeals will allow a lawsuit to continue against the city of Flint and two firefighters accused of failing to search for two boys who died in a house fire. In May of 2022, 2-year-old Zaire Mitchell and 9-year-old Lamar Mitchell lost their lives after a fire at a home in West Pulaski Street. Crystal Cooper, the mother of the boys, claims in a $50 million lawsuit that Sergeant Daniel Snagaki and firefighter Michael Slotek failed to search the second floor of the home where her sons were located. Other firefighters found the boys during a second sweep of the house. Both boys later died. No criminal charges were filed against the firefighters. The lawsuit now will head back to Genesee County Circuit Court for continued litigation.
So that is the case, and I want to correct. He stated 15 million. It is not 15 million. It's 50 million. She's suing the children's father for 50 million. They're suing for 50 million. And Fire Chief Barton was fired because he told the truth. He was fired, and he has a $10 million lawsuit that he's suing for. So that's going to be about, well, not about, it's $60 million worth of lawsuit. Now remember this now, Flint only took in 64 million in revenue last year. We're spending 68, we're in budget time. These two lawsuits together are 60 million, which is what they're asking. So at the lower courts, the parents won and went to the higher court to appeal, and now it's back down. They're saying no, this gets to move, this moves forward. So what happens, what's the difference in make whose testimony can they get now, Woodson? What makes this different?
I'm gonna sum all this up, right? They get everybody's testimony. Ain't nothing that Neely or anybody else can do about it, right?
Has he been avoiding
Depositions,
getting being deposed?
he's been avoiding it. We got lawsuits, the metal detector. The day that we went to court for Crystal, the appellate court approved denied the city their appeal for the metal detectors. They this was the quickest answer that they ever came back with as far as regarding Crystal's case. There's so much different things going on. So now he has to sit down and answer questions
Under oath.
under oath. Kwame Kilpatrick went to prison because of a civil lawsuit. The police department did a whistleblower. He lied about the text messages. That's where they got him at. There's some different articles out there. Leighton has an article out there saying that the investigation's still on, and especially things arising from the civil case. Neely has been scheduled. My lawyers, my attorneys, have been sending scheduling arrangements for him to sit down and talk to them.
Who's the attorneys for these cases? So for everybody, he's talking about, these are three different cases. You're talking about the metal detector case, then there's the case with Chief Barton, and then there's the case for Crystal Cooper and the child's father.
You know what, Tonya, you know what I feel great about is the fact that these are some high-powered lawyers.
What firm are they with?
Huh?
What firm is he? Is it Clark Hill? Which ones are?
No. What, for me?
No, I'm talking about the ones for that Neely. So we're not just using the attorneys.
Neely has Max. He has Max. He has Goldstein. He has the one that you just named. He has a whole bunch of different lawyers. And in y'all budget, y'all need to shut down the law department because they wasting money. We have Todd Flood. We have Kenner from Atlanta. We have Terry Johnson from Southfield. We have Anna Reed from Detroit. We have Brenda Williams from Flint, Michigan. Mark, who is from Southfield. You have lawyers from Grand Rapids with Second Amendment, concealed weapon. It's a slew of lawyers that's really doing what they need to do. And let me say this real quick, everybody. We have to bag up, right? And this case isn't about it. No, it's about them leaving the kids in the house and saying that they saying all clear. It's about that. But I'm tired of and
Okay.
I don't want the white people to get offended. But if you go look at Channel 12, if you go look at Flint Journal, if you go look at any article that they posted on their Facebook page. They're always saying, well, they risk their lives, they do this, they do that. They should have had fire alarm, smoke detectors. The father shouldn't have never left the kids alone. All right, okay, cool, fine and dandy. Even if you take that route, even if you even look at it in that perspective, right? Here's the problem. And my white counterparts that always want to scream Blue Lives Matter, always want to scream when is something outside of the white race. I just want you to pay attention to this part right here. Even if you take all that out of the equation, they post report stated that they used thermal. They walked the walls. They did protocol. They did everything that they was trained to do before they gave the all clear. If Crystal Cooper would not have pressed the issue and would not have kept fighting to get the answers, they would have got away with that lie. Because in the appellate court, they read the affidavit from these two firefighters where they admitted to saying that they didn't do what they said they did.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that you are saying, all right, they risked their lives to go in and save lives, but they lied because they didn't do what they said they did. So wipe away everything else and let's just look at the lie. You lied in saying that you searched the house. That's it. Bottom line, gross negligence. You're done. I don't want to hear anything else from them. For real. I don't want to hear anything else from people trying to protect, cover, because of their whiteness. That's the only reason why they siding with them. That's the only reason why Flint morale was down in the fire department, because you had the blacks that wanted to come out and tell the truth, and then you had Neely and the white people along with the union that wanted to save the white man by saying it's political suicide because I can't get an endorsement from the union if I put this out there.
So this all happened during Mayor Neely's run for office in 2022.
Correct.
And so
He said
this was detrimental. Would have been I think they called it political suicide.
He said it was political suicide, and he had Lois Fletcher in his corner, and Lois Fletcher wouldn't help her. October the 9th, she
Lois
reached
was
out to me.
originally her attorney, Crystal Cooper.
That was originally her attorney. I called her. It happened Memorial Day weekend. I called her June 12th. No, I sent her a message in the inbox because somebody called me. I said, hey, they getting ready to try to cover up. I didn't know nothing about no Pulaski street fire and nothing else, right? They called me and said, Art, you need to get in touch with Crystal, the mother of Lamar and Zaire. They trying to cover up her son's death. I said, oh, for real. So they started sending me information. So I started telling her. I said, hey, you need to pursue this because they trying to cover up your kid's death. That was in June. She had Lois Fletcher as her attorney. I hadn't spoken to her anymore after that. October the 9th, she called me crying. saying Lois Fletcher was not, she wanted a meeting with David Layton. She said, I'm tired of him. I've been asking. I have not seen him since I hired him, everything else, right? That was on October the 9th. I said, all right, what I need you to do is send him an email and tell him that he's fired. I said, I'm going to get you some attorneys and they're going to fight. I said, I'm going to get you an appointment and we're going to go talk to David Layton. October the 10th, we went and spoke to David Layton. When we was down there, we walked in. Lois Fletcher was at the door. He hadn't filed no paperwork. He hadn't done anything. He was down there to file paperwork saying that he was her lawyer, and he filed a lawsuit that day, October the 10th, 2022.
So did she believe the lawsuit had been filed before then?
She didn't know because he hadn't spoke to her.
So he hadn't spoke to his client.
Correct. It's all, Lois Fletcher is a big Neely fan. All of them work together. Everything downtown work together. That's why I move like I do, man. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know the players, if you don't know you lost. You lost. They're gonna get you. If you don't know who moved with who backdoors who works in undercover, who does this, who does that, you lost, man. For real. You lost. Hey, but Tonya, I'm sorry, man. I got a lot going on, man. And this right here, this means so much. It hurts me so bad, man.
Okay. So there is also the lawsuit for $10 million with Fire Chief Barton. So he also has the lawsuit, that is going on. And so all of these cases can move forward. His is for 10 million. So what Fire Chief Barton did was basically told the truth, what would happen. He was told to take responsibility for it because it would be political suicide for Mayor Neely. And according to the records and the news reports, he didn't. And so they fired him. And so he has got a lawsuit. He has a lawsuit. So so keep this family in your prayers. Keep them in your prayers. And we gonna keep it, we're gonna keep this part moving. So we're gonna go on to we're gonna move on to y'all them trash cans. Producer Jay, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah. So can we put up 810 Flint about the trash can? The trash cans, there was this big thing. We found that when I found it was a trash can in front of very controversial in front of Councilman Leon L. Alamines with the serial number. But we found 810 Flint found the footage that if a trash can is where it's not supposed to be, you gonna get $500 fines or up to 90 days in jail. So can you play that video for me, please, sir? And thank you.
Because it is a misdemeanor to steal this can and take it away from where it belongs. And it's up to 90 days in jail and a $500 fine. More than 36,000 structures will get their cans. We're delivering about 1,000 cans a day, We started on the north side of the city of Flint, and we're working our way through to those individuals that may think that this is an opportunity for you to do something different. Every residential structure is going to get a can. It's free of charge to the residents. It's no cost to you at all. We were able to secure a $4.3 million grant from Recyclable Partnerships and the state of Michigan to be able to afford this opportunity to give it to you, the residents of the city of Flint, at no cost. Candace, what did I just say? Well, what was that word I just said?
Free, basically.
Okay, free. Okay, right. Each one of those cans has a number, identification number on it, and an electronic chip. That once the can is dropped off, it is attached to that residential structure. So we know where each can is belong. Right? The can belongs to the city of Flint, but it's going to be there to that residential structure for its use throughout the lifespan of the can. So we have officers assigned especially to this level of duty, and what they do is patrol the neighborhoods, and they have the electronic devices to see if the can in front of your home is actually assigned to your home. I don't want people getting upset because it is a misdemeanor to steal this can and take it away from where it belongs. And it's up to 90 days in jail and a $500 fine. So we'll be issuing tickets or citations to when those cans mysteriously finds itself away from the structure that has been assigned to.
Oh, listen, I'm having camera problems, y'all. Computer problems. Look, producer Jay, which way? You have to pop on for me.
To my left, so I guess it would be your right.
Is that better?
A little bit. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So listen. Look, we had some cans in Mount Morris. We had some trash cans in Mount Morris. So, Mayor Nelly, you might need to go find them trash cans where they belong to. Because according to him with that, if those trash cans make it to some other place, he was taking them folks to jail. He was taking them to jail. So, producer Jay, you won't?
He really said that they have officers.
We have officers who are patrolling for these cans.
Who's assigned just for that?
Look, I saw some of them behind Little Caesars. So I don't know how effective those police cans, trash can police are, but literally I've seen them trash cans everywhere. As he said, they do belong with the property. That part is true. Now, if he's going to prosecute anybody on them, I don't think so, because we know we have found the can that was in front of somebody else's house on a dirt road. And Flint does not pick up trash in Mount Morris Township. They just don't do that. They just don't. Hey, JWC.
You might not can see the chat, but Brenda Boyd said, "Did you get paid by the mayor for that blight case with the trailer?"
Which one? Because I got two now. I got two. Two of them. The little pop-up one and the no, but Brenda, turn it in for yourself. You got all the evidence there. Okay, we know where everything ended up. Now we do know this last week. They did not let that one become the traveling trailer. That Judy somehow blamed that one on me, that I didn't call to tell her where it was at. Judy, it wasn't in my responsibility. I didn't follow that. The community followed that around. They literally did. It ended up in her ward. Wasn't my picture that was took. I did not do that. I didn't take it on Dordt Highway. I didn't take it to its final resting place. But they said it has not made it to the dumpster yet. So I don't know. Not my responsibility. Matter of fact, they told her on the east side what street it was on in the heading where it was at. And they told her where it was at. Now, why is she putting it where she didn't tell me? Look up in the what's the name. They telling you yourself where it's at. They were telling her literally where it was at. So that was kind of ironic. Hey, JWC. So look, the traveling trash can. And so listen, so a couple of things. So we are in budget season, and there were some peculiar things. Can you put up the article about Michigan? Was it Michigan bridges where people? And I'm gonna tell you, and this is why I'm getting into this. 1.5 million was supposed to go to Pastor Thompson. It did not. We talked about this over the past couple weeks, 2 weeks. The money went to St. Mark's Church in Grand Rapids. St. Mark's Church in Grand Rapids. They received the 1.5 million. St. Mark Baptist Church here in Flint was told they were getting the money and received paperwork that they were getting the money. Did not get the money. They had to stop their food program where they were giving food out to the community. That money was supposed to help them with their mental health services and other services to the community. We know that we put back up. No, that's the grocery store. That's the grocery store. I'm gonna get to that one in a minute. And so um, that's the grocery store. So that one we're not gonna that they're getting 1.5 million also, but they're getting theirs in another one. But Pastor Thompson St. Mark Church didn't get the 1.5 million. He also did not get the money for and he also didn't get the 50,000, which has failed numerous times, unfortunately, in Flint City Council. And so Liddell went to pull a fast one this week, and she said, "Well, let's put it on the floor to get Pastor Hicks the 25,000." Okay, I don't have a problem with that, but we're gonna pay the other three also. So when it was time to pay the other three, um, she really didn't want to do that. She didn't want to do that. And so that was, I said, well, let's put on the east side compassion in the Franklin Street mission, and then St. Mark. Look, let's do them all, because do them in one resolution, and let's do it that way. Let's feed the entire community. Judy refuses to vote for. Judy was telling the lie that Pastor Thompson received 1.5 million. And then too, they said, Pastor, and let me tell y'all this part. Well, he received community block grant dollars. He did not. That's another lie. And let me tell you why it's a lie. The mayor refused to sign off of it. He didn't get that. I think it was 78,000. The mayor refused to sign off of that. Okay. So Judy, stop lying. You and Liddell Lewis, just big liars. He didn't get the 78 because the mayor, your friend, didn't sign off on it. Yes, you voted to approve it, but you knew the mayor would not and did not sign off on it. So he has not gotten anything that any of you people have done that he has benefited from, because Judy is making sure Asbury's going to get 295,000 from the state rep, from the state office, and we're going to get into that. But the 1.5 million, as I was going over things, I'm like, you know what? We really don't have representation. So I'm calling around trying to find out, hey, what's going on? Where's the money? What we found out was he's not getting it. So he didn't get the money in community block grant dollars. So when she say that and they say that, it's a lie. The mayor would not sign off on it and did not sign off on it. He did not. The $50,000, he didn't sign off on either. He didn't sign off on that. And so when we talk about what he has gotten, he hasn't gotten anything. He has not. And so St. Mark Episcopal Church in Grand Rapids did get the money, but the city of Flint, we had nobody here. Our state rep didn't fight for that. She let that money go down to Grand Rapids, Kent County, which is in the top 10 wealthiest. Thank you. Oh, we're gonna come up on that one. We're gonna come up on that one, yeah. And it's in the top 10 wealthiest counties that we have in the state of Michigan. I think Kent County, which is Grand Rapids, ranks number 7. Number 7. Flint so far down on the list, y'all, it's scary. So the 7th richest lived in county received the money. Flint didn't get it. Flint didn't get. Why? We don't have anybody fighting for us. We don't. And when it comes to the needs of what this community needs, um, she's my representative. She's missing the mark. And it's disappointing because we need so much. We need so much. And so when we look at, I was trying to find that. Um, when we try to look at what we need, the 1.5 million he didn't get. They won't vote to give him 50,000. And Liddell has been there to get food. She's been in that line to get food. So 50,000, 1.5 million, and the 68,000. If they like, we voted to give you that money. Okay, the mayor, he has got nothing. Zero, zero, nothing. So when we look at our state rep, because this is her job to fight for our community, what does her district need? So can you put that clip back up for me, please? Because in that clip, it tells us what what she's going for and what our district needs. So she has got on here, uh, she's got on here, thank you. So the heading, look, I got to get to that. I sent it to you. And I'm on this little thing and I cannot read that. I'm going to read this other one now. So hold on. Look, y'all bear with me, please.
Try it now.
Yeah.
Should be on the screen bigger now.
Thank you. So State Rep Cynthia Neely seeks 25 million for spiritual and transformation nonprofit. So I'm going to say that again. State Rep Cynthia Neely seeks 25 million for spiritual and social transformation nonprofit. So, and thank you. So, what has this community said that they need? Where's for small business? Where's for roofs? Where's for economic development? I mean, we're going to go into what her breakdown or her earmarks are. So we can start scrolling through those. Those are the ones. So one, she has My Hub Life Empowerment. So that's the 25 million. It says My Hub Life Empowerment Center is a regional innovation and empowerment hub in Flint. And I'm going to get into this later more deeper. That's that 25 million. And which is supposed to be faith-based part of that. The other one is she's got 15 million. Sponsor State Rep Cynthia Neely. Description: she wants 15 million for a joint police and firefighter training facility would bring significant benefits to the residents of the city of Flint and surrounding communities by strengthening the quality of responsiveness of public safety services. So that's the one where you, all of you have followed through, where they've got the gun ranges down nearby Stewart Street, where the old Buick City used to be, and by there, there's an old fire station that's right there, and they want to be, they've been buying the streets. So 15 million for that. Y'all put in the chat what y'all think she should be looking for. Let me see how well educated all of you are with what Flint needs. Put it in the chat. So then she also has on here, she also has on here 10 million for Empowerment Village, historic Fisher Body building renovation. 10 million for the historic Fisher Body renovation. 10 million. It says description: we're requesting funding in support of renovations to revive the Fisher Body #1 building, a national landmark and former General Motors plant and administrative center on 4098 South Saginaw Street. She wants 10 million for that. Y'all put in the chat what you think she should be asked for, because she might need some help. She don't know. Friends of Burston. Friends of Burston says we need an additional 5 million more. For over a century, Burston Fieldhouse has been a unique place for individual and community achievement through education, athletics, the arts, and community service for the city of Flint, the Friends of Burston. I don't know how much Friends of Burston is into now, but it is millions, millions. And here's my thing: you keep giving money and earmarking money for buildings. When do the residents matter? When do the residents matter? But y'all put in the chat what y'all think. 'Cause I'm gonna go back and look through it. Next one, Insight Research Institute, doing business as behavioral health, sponsored by State Rep Cynthia Neely. $3 million. We will be opening up an additional 30 medical psych beds to the community, dual treating patients with underlying psych conditions needing behavioral health care as well as their medical conditions. $3 million. I don't think we spent $3 million. I had to look on for home repair. Here we go. City of Flint, $1.5 million. Cynthia Neely, sponsor and description, improving sidewalks and crosswalks in a business district in the city of Flint would greatly benefit residents by enhancing safety, accessibility, and economic vitality. $1.5 million for sidewalks. Ferris Wheel Innovation Center, doing businesses 100K ideas. Sponsor State Rep Cynthia Neely, $330,000. This spending item will support closing the gap between statewide resources and Flint and Genesee County entrepreneurs and small business. That got 330. Don't you think we need a little bit more for business and economic development growth? I'm just saying. Remember that remember that and I've shown you the video where the 300,000 for the Flint Water Lab, where Candace Machat, the five rubber stamp and 5, did vote yes on it. They voted yes for it, and committee sent it to council. Liddell pulled it back off the table. Well, guess where it's at now? Flint Community Lab. Sponsor State Rep Cynthia Neely, $300,000. This funding will support the Flint Community's lab work in providing residents with an independent and reliable source of water testing, water quality testing, while continuing youth workforce development and STEM education programs. The Flint Community Lab is a sponsored project of the Great Lakes Aquatic Network and Fund, DBA Fresh Water, the initiative. Y'all need to find out who own all of these. The Great Lakes Aquatic, make that big so people can see it, because that 300,000 was in city council, and she did vote yes to give it her own self the money, and that she's affiliated with this nonprofit, and then pulled it back. She pulled it back after it went from committee. Ed came up there and said, "Hey, we didn't approve this. We didn't sign off on this. We don't know nothing about this." And so now he was like, we had nothing to do with this, because it didn't look right, because it wasn't right. And so when it came, because it was voted to go from committee to city council, the 300,000, which this is hers, she put in for, and it went to city council. Then what happened? It just kind of went dead. It went dead. So where did it line up at? State Rep Cynthia Neely has now got it at the state level. So that's where that's at now. So I mean, y'all tell me what you think. So next one, Asbury. Now we know why Judy is just doing all the busy work for Mayor Neely, because Asbury Development Center, State Rep Cynthia Neely, $250,000. She should have had for all of them. St. Mark. See, that's why she don't really care, because she's getting them 250. Where's Franklin? Why are you not looking out for everybody? So she's got in here. Asbury Development Center, description, ACDC's Youth Workforce Development Enrichment Program, where local summer jobs ages 14 to 18 receive training, financial literacy, hands-on work experience. Why can't you help this out with St. Mark and the other churches? You do just one, but this is over in Judy's ward. That explains why Judy is fighting so hard. So when you see this, what do y'all tell me what is missing? What is missing? Producer Jay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it just me, or what have residents, have they just been saying we need home repair? I mean, I'm not seeing the home repair.
Well, my mind goes back to Claire McClinton. She comes in there all the time and says exactly what's needed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Our infrastructure. What about her asking to have our pipes replaced, our indoor plumbing? Why is she not up there asking the things? Literally, when I found out how bad it was, when nobody wanted to talk about what happened to the 1.5 million that she was not supporting. She wasn't supporting it. It went over to Grand Rapids. In the top 10 richest counties in the state of Michigan, number 7. They have very nice things over there. Like people volunteer when they have programs like the Grand Rapids Symphony. I mean, here it is needed for just basic needs, things that we really need. I mean, you have a whole water crisis in your community. You don't have anything for housing, nothing about lowering water bills, nothing about indoor plumbing. Where's the education? Our public schools. Where is that? I mean, this is you can't make this up.
Dollar Bill said the FBI is missing.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just can't. Miss Claire McClinton comes every week. She wanted 16 million for home repairs. Where is home repairs? She wants to spend 10 million on an old Fisher Body General Motors building. She wants to give Burston another 5 million. When do the residents win? When do we win? We don't have representation. We don't have representation. And when you think that you have a mayor and a state rep, we should be tight and right for everything because they should know. They should know. So some of this stuff, I'm not going to say deeply disturbing because it is. I mean, we look at the amount of money and earmarked, and 25 million goes into the spiritual and social transformation nonprofit, which they are questioning already. Of course, the Republicans going to jump all on that. And they're questioning that. Yeah, and who are these people in that group? Who are the people? I hate that I'm having double laptop problems today, but y'all know I had internet. This is just a sidebar because your girl didn't know that her internet wasn't working because I'd be gone all the time. And I didn't have no TV for like 3 weeks, I guess. They told me, but they had to come out to fix it. And it was at the transmission. But anyways, and that's probably why producer Jay, I'm gonna have to log back on to everything to put in a different internet. But I do want to say it because I got a new modem. So I do want to say this. When we look at whatever mayor, if you're going to be successful, you need to have someone in Lansing working with you and for the people. And they need to know what the people need. Her list misses the mark completely. It misses the mark. And faith-based, I'm sorry, one of the faith-based they want to support is a bishop who keeps telling stories or non-facts or lies. He lied and said that I did brought them here on the bus. I didn't do that. I done told y'all, I orchestrated the line dance, the boots on the ground. Man, I got the 1, 2, 3, and that's out, and I can do the crossover. That's all I got. That's all I got. And so when we look at these things, some of them are just mind-boggling to me. They're mind-boggling. So I'm trying to see. So what are some of the things I've ever moved for the subject? I need more these so I can run for office. Shardy, there you go. There you go. Shardy said if he would move over there to help clean it up. I mean, some of this stuff is just crazy. And I read that. I read that, and I was going through. I'm like, how do you live in the community and not understand the need of the community? You're married to the mayor. Those two need to. I mean, they should be so. Flint should have an overabundance of everything, and there isn't. There is not an overabundance of anything. It's just not. So, um, Jerry says she can't even open up the fan. Girl, Jerry, I got the fan down. The fan, that part I got down. That part I have down, down, down. So, I mean, when I look at that, and I look at what we're going through in budget time, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that budget, I was frustrated. We have resolutions on there. This is the city budget now. We have to adopt the budget by the first week in June. So, or we are not in compliance. But here's the thing, they got resolutions on it and no department heads. So, yes, the CFO is overall all of them, but he does not do the day to day operations of each department. He does not. He doesn't run, say, the purchasing department. He's not running out these certain departments. So, the resolutions that we needed to have those department heads in, they weren't there. Nobody could answer any questions. One of the questions they couldn't answer, which I've asked, one, where's the opioid plan? Haven't seen it. Comprehensive public safety plan, really haven't seen that one. Asked about where's the plan for the May Center and the McKinley Center. Who's running it? Where the personal service contracts? How much is the director being paid? How much the deputy director? How many staff members? Where's this money coming from? I mean, and it just goes on and on and on. We haven't got, I mean, it was really just frustrating. And so then when we ask questions, they get mad. They get mad. We all did, I believe, get emails from the mayor requesting for us to got to come down to the mayor's office. So we all believe, those of us who normally, have not been, we got requests to come to the mayor's office. But it's like, I don't even really know where to start with this budget. I don't, because basic questions couldn't be asked or couldn't be answered. And when we asked questions, Judy kept saying, "Oh, well, that's at budget time." Judy, you put that out in December. Dates change. Then it has been amended. She didn't call us about the amended dates to see. So Judy is a liar. Judy is a liar. It's like she lied and say she asked me about where that trailer was, and I wouldn't send her the address. Just lie. Just lie. So we can ask the same question 1,000 times if we want to. She doesn't get to control that. And literally, we spent the first 15 or 20 minutes, I don't know how long, the agenda of how it should go and during the finance. I'm like, well, how did you mess that up? But see, when they spend all this time trying to figure out how to not make it work for one individual, which was Councilman Mays, he's no longer here, then they're trying to rectify, it's just not working. And they don't have them 5 votes. Them 5 votes, they're gone. They're gone. And so as we sitting there and no questions can be asked, and y'all do not hear what they say when the mics are off. I will not be staying for disrespect for me or any of my other colleagues. I'm not doing it. Page 26, section 3-104. There must be decorum and respect. I'm not doing it. It's like being in an abusive relationship. I'm not good with domestic violence. I'm not good with that. I mean, it's the verbal abuse that you get and the attacks that you get. I can't take that. It's too much. So I will be excusing they don't want you to ask, that should have been answered at the budget. I can ask whatever I want any day, anytime. Judy. And if she's going to keep having that answer, I'm going to happily get up out my seat and go home, because I'm not going to keep her talking back, trying to take the floor, wanting to try to stop asking questions. Have your budget right, and it won't be any questions. Then she's going to tell me, but Tonya, the plan for the opioid plan is on page 44 of the budget. Judy, that is not a plan. That is how much is left in that account. That is not she don't even understand what a plan is. I'd have to go find what she literally said was the plan. Look, producer Jack, give me just a second. I'm gonna grab that budget. Y'all ain't gonna believe this.
grow your business? Advertise with The Tonya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com. Want to grow your business? Advertise with The Tonya Burns Show and unleash your brand's potential. Contact us today for advertising rates. Call 810-354-5843. That's 810-354-5843 or email hcrcga@gmail.com.
Okay, so this is the budget, y'all. And there was so many unanswered questions. So she says, Tanya, page 44, because she was telling us whatever. And look, the numbers wasn't math. So page 44, where she said, it's the opioid plan is on page 44. So this is what she was saying was the opioid plan. It says the current settlement funds accounts for the revenues for the lawsuit settlement from the pharmaceutical industry. The fund must use at least 70% of the proceeds towards drug abuse treatment, drug abuse investigations, and related public health purposes. The remaining 30% is unrestricted and how the funds can be sent. Okay, there's no intervention, there's no prevention. I mean, there's no type of services, there's no outcome. I mean, y'all, this is not a plan. And she gonna try to tell me this was a plan. Stop. Stop. This is not a plan. Fire Chief Wiggins told me he had a plan. I ain't seen that plan. And that plan ain't in here. It's not in here, y'all. It's not in here. And so I don't know when I'm supposed to get the plan, but I asked for it during budget time or whenever, and I still have not gotten that yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but I do not have it. So in that fund, it's supposed to be $6,342,212. So that's how much is supposed to be in there. And so I still ain't seen the opioid. And it's like, I'm like, and they're upset because we're asking questions. So every question that we have to send directly to Clyde. So guess what I'll be doing probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, because I'm gonna take my questions off the budget here, because your girl got them. Look, I got them, and I got to put them in an email. And so to give them a chance, but it is so daunting. They come so unprepared, completely unprepared. And when we ask them questions, for some reason, Judy thinks that budget hearings, we're supposed to only ask questions during budget hearing. No, sorry, Judy, this isn't a dictatorship. You hold no more power than anybody else. You really don't, and they're used to pushing this budget that we took in 64 million, spending 68 million, and we're supposed to work out this deal with the county, y'all, and these philanthropic dollars. Look, it ain't in this plan. Or your girl ain't seen it. It ain't in this plan. And so, I mean, right now it's a deficit budget, and I don't know how they're swinging this to be one, but we're going to work out later in the year, and we got grants coming. Okay, where's the grants budget? Where is the grants budget? They should have one. If grants is making this up, where is the grants budget? And they don't have one. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just not taking their word. Not doing it. Not doing it. Absolutely not doing it. And so those are things which are deeply troubling, highly upsetting, because they keep playing with the people. And so how much, and I want to know how are we paying for the salaries from the Mays Center when we already have, look, basic math, 64 million taken in, 68 million is what we're spending. negative $4 million. Some of them have expanded their departments. This is a deficit, but why are we not cutting? Where's the grants budget? Where's these philosophic dollars? Where's this agreement where you've agreed to, the county agreed to negotiate that million or 2 million or however much it was? I haven't seen it. The county did state that it was the worst paperwork ever seen for the application for the Flint Senior Services. Flint didn't have to pay. We haven't paid for senior services since 2000. I'd have to look back, 8, 9, a long time. And now that we do, in the senior millage, we didn't pay for that before. The budget was ran by Beverly over at the Hasselbrink Center, now the current May Center, where the sign was put up with duct tape on the wall and then came down and was on the ground with black duct tape. We didn't have to pay for that. Where's this money coming from and how much? We haven't seen this. No plan, nothing to say what they're going to do, what things are included in the budget. We haven't seen it. We have not seen it. And so, I mean, literally, Dennis had good questions. Jerry had good questions. Nothing was being asked. And then, if when you ask a question, it should have been that budget. You should have been there. Well, look, whether I'm there or not, you didn't do an amendment to yourself. Oh, it was there in December. It's like all this. Look, the question has nothing to do with that right now. Those resolutions were right now. And so for me with this, I don't know how long we're going to be in this budget process, because if they can't answer basic questions like how much is the director being paid over at the May Center in Hasselbrink, we don't know. We don't know. I mean, who are the people? We don't know. And so you can add, this is budget adoption. We're not limited. So don't let them fool y'all, because that's what they're trying to do. Judy got a run point because she got, was it 265,000 at the state? So that's what, and Candace got 300,000 with state rep Cindy Neely. So Candace has something, and so does Judy. So they have to run interference, and that's what their job is. I just can't understand. I just can't understand why they think we're going to let that pass. And it's not even being disrespectful. I mean, it is really just saying, where's the money going and how are we going to pay for this? Because remember, Flint has had emergency management numerous times. And was it 3 or 4? And then we came out of emergency management underneath Mayor Dr. Karen Weaver. And it looks like, honestly, for me, we're headed back to it. One of the other questions was the pension. And so we were supposed to get $220 million infused into the pension. We got it a year later, $170 million. We just got $10 million. You heard me ask the CFO, well, where's the $50 million? Where did it go? And he says, I don't know. We lost it. Well, they said the mayor was down there, messed up us getting the $50 million. I'm just telling you what they have said. And the people in Lansing. So the $50 million, that was to bring us up, I think, like 80 something percent to be funded for our retirees. So we have got some problems. And so when we look at this, this stuff is just crazy. And so I don't know. Then we have this master fee schedule. And literally, y'all, this is it. We got this when we got there. These were the changes. We got these when we got there. And so, and we don't have all of this stuff tomorrow. And I'm not staying there all night to read stuff and educate myself on it. We don't have everything now because the administration submitted stuff this weekend. Producer Jack.
Well, I mean, you have grown adult kids. You don't supposed to spend Mother's Day with them. So.
Yeah, and I'm also not the cat lady either. So I'm not a spinster. So I love my children, and I'm gonna spend Mother's Day with mine, And so, and today, which is Sunday, I spend it with other people's children. that comment was made. And those are the type of comments that they make. So we received these, and nobody could answer any of the questions that we got this on Wednesday. And this is 4 pages. And none of these questions could be answered. And this was in the landscape form. And so, I mean, I don't want, it'll be spent. Oh, and when you watch this news, city council failed to pass the budget. Channel 12, did you ask us why the budget didn't pass? They didn't have no answers. How do you pass a budget that the city can't answer any questions? You know, council people asked for the opioid plan. They didn't have an answer. Council asked for how much the water increase. They said around about, we don't know. Council asked about where was the money coming from for the Maine Center, the McKinley Center. They couldn't answer. And we could keep going on. So how long we going to be in budget? I don't know. But we're going to be in there a while. You know, how much, what is the total amount in each category? Look, I did find out how much we had in, what was it, 450,000 in food access, that they're willing to let people go hungry because they just don't want to give St. Mark money. I mean, that is crazy to me. It's insane. It's insanity. You don't have to like them to do it. The mayor has had some things that, you know, I don't really care for him and he doesn't care for me. But if it's something that's right for the community, I'm going to support it. And that's what we're supposed to do. And so we said to give them 25,000 apiece. They voted it down. I'm not going to change. I will only support if we're giving all of them. I'm not going to cherry pick the ones that they like. Not going to do it. Liddell tried to pull that move. Well, let's see if you're going to do it and pull them. Technically, Liddell, if you look at number one, if they're, and she tried to use Pastor Hicks, technically, if you look at the map now, they're in your ward. But I didn't know they had to get a water affidavit. Did not know. Not a water affidavit saying that they submitted. And so all of these different things, and it's just turned into a mess. Feed them all. And you still got 350,000 left over. This is the part where, and it's not even, it's pile of tricks. She tried to do a pile of trick and I amended it to add the other ones. She didn't, when it's time to put her money on the mouth, which would have got them the money, she couldn't and didn't support it. She couldn't and didn't support it at all. So, Big Shady, you think I'm funny, really? Really? So listen, this week has been terrible. So y'all, we got council meeting. Look, we gonna be in there with our sleeping bags probably, because this stuff is crazy. And so here are some of the things, because so here's the thing for the May Center, which is also on this part of the budget, because we don't have money. Okay. And so on whatever page, oh, the centers, McKinley Center and May Center, which are down there. And the other one's on the other page. So on March 31st, 2025, Genesee County Senior Services sent over. It says regarding senior center applications review, because we don't have money, we never have to fund these. It says, dear council members, after careful review, Genesee County cannot recommend approval for the city of Flint's application for senior centers, the May Center and the McKinley Senior Center. We have identified the following concerns that prevent us from proceeding with applications. Sad part is a paragraph, y'all, of the errors. Okay, incompleting application and missing documentation. Professional liability insurance and workman's compensation, didn't have it. Health inspection, city didn't have it. Valid building code inspection, didn't have. This is the city building. Their inspectors inspect them, but one of the people, oh, and it's a fire code, but they fired the fire code guy. They got a new one, but it doesn't pass fire code. And it's their own building. Their own people failed. The Flint Fire Department failed to pass the fire safety inspection for the Mays Center. They didn't pass it. Okay. The Mays Senior and Community Center does not meet building or fire inspection code. So the Building and Permit Department of the City of Flint and the Fire Department, it did not pass its own code. The McKinley Center building condition is unknown because the information was not provided. Budget concerns. Oh, fire inspections and ADA compliance. They did not meet the American with Disabilities Act. And look, y'all, that's important. These are for buildings for seniors. So you don't meet the American with Disability compliance. Come on. What are y'all doing? So all of this ties into the budget. It ties into the budget. Budget concerns. The applications presented budget allocations that were not aligned with the funding requirements for sustainable programming. The budget submitted exceeded both levels, both level 2, 137,923, and level 3, 206,330. One of them was 187 and the other one's like 286. They're not even the right levels. Who did this paperwork? Who did the paperwork? Is what I want to know. So, because you know your girl gonna read. Your girl will read. And so I don't have all of that over here. So this goes to the budget. So we're not getting any of that. We're not. And so when we ask these questions about the budget, Judy's favorite thing is, you should have been a budget hearing. Judy, you don't get to tell me. You're not nobody's mama at all. And they're going to mention my children. That's what we're not going to do. So I don't know what they're going to do, but we are not getting money from the county. I can tell y'all that. We are not getting funds from the county at all. So, y'all are out the chain in the chat. So, producer Jay, I hate not having. I didn't think to put in my new IP address. I did not, and it is so much. So, y'all be patient because we gonna be there. We're 4-4. Beverly Lewis and AC Dumas made it to go on to the next round, and so they're going on to the next round. So. And I'm gonna talk about this, and I'm gonna put this up. So we in budget season. I think the election is August 5th or August 8th. So one of the disturbing things I talked about, one of the other things in the budget, Chief Green. I want to see a comprehensive public safety plan with something with gang violence. We also have got in Flint a domestic violence where people putting their hands. So this weekend, there was a homicide on Tebow Street, the 1900 block. And I actually heard the gunshots. 1900 block, gunshots. A young lady, I think she was 47. She was killed. Prayers for her family. I mean, some of the stuff that just happens here is just, and we don't hear about it. We don't hear about it. So that is why I do a podcast to make sure there are educational pieces in there so that we know. I don't want y'all to think we're not doing this budget. We're doing this budget because this budget, it need help. It's on. I don't even know if it needs CPR because literally I was not even. I just had to tell Clyde. I said, hey, you don't even have the people here. Your paperwork ain't right. He couldn't answer it. Nobody could answer it. So how do you pass something that can't nobody? How are we gonna pay for this stuff? We have some serious issues. I want to know about the water stabilization fund. Are we putting in the number of hydrants that we are supposed to be putting in per year? I want to know about the administrative consent order. Where are we at on those projects? Because we're supposed to be following that. Where are we at with what we're supposed to be doing with our water infrastructure? And y'all, we're gonna be here next June trying to figure this out. So I had asked during the budget hearing part, but Mr. Miller he was out. They said he was ill. So I mean, I guess that is what it is. But I do want to take us to one of the things that is disturbing. So one thing, Chief Green, you should have in your budget hiring more officers, and especially on backlog on cases and also backlog on reports of violence. Because we're gonna play. Can you play that one where producer Jay? I'm gonna send it back to the bottom because Beverly Biggs got a bullet in her car this past weekend. And she's had 5 flat tires, which means someone is probably throwing in the bottom of her driveway or putting some by her tire. She's had, and the car was, she said, 2 months old. So this is really dangerous. It's really dangerous. So let me know when you got the video queued up, and then after the video, can you show the bullet hole? Because this is dangerous. I mean, literally, people risking their lives, and this is crazy.
Which one you want to do first? You want the bullet hole or the video?
I want the video, please.
The video is, which one is the video?
What?
Is it the one you just sent?
Yep. Yeah, well, they said they was there to get me and Beverly Biggs, and I think the other was Jerry Winfrey Carter.
All right, give me 1 second. Just keep going.
So when people are putting bullets in your car, nails in your driveway, she's had 5 flats. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. I mean, and it's dangerous. And so when I heard she had the bullet in her car, that someone had shot at her car, she had told me last week, she's like, I keep getting 5, I've had 5 flats. I said, Beverly, this happened to John Gleason. He was the county clerk. They were putting things in his driveway, and they were these like spiky things. And he would, before he would go on his driveway, he would have to go and metal detect them to get them up because he had gotten flats. So it is a tactic that they use and that they do. And she had that. She had 5 flats, I think, in 2 months. I think it was 2 months, which is a very short amount of time for that. But here we go.
What y'all dealing down on?
Man, they know happy as hell. But they wanted us to talk. Yeah, they wanted me to talk. And they don't want me to talk.
What they want you to say?
Whatever I was gonna say. They ain't want me to say nothing. They wanted me to say They knew I was coming. They knew I was going for her. They knew I was going for Tommy. The other bitch that was it. Yeah, we shut it down. Look. One of the dudes in the chair was looking. We was.
So there you have it. The same people. Oh, we were there to get Tonya Burns and Beverly and who the other person. Play the other video to show what they did, because Chief Green can't seem to get these cases solved. Can you play that other video before you show the bullet?
Yep, give me 1 second.
All right. And so y'all, this is dangerous. You got people literally making threats. And Chief Green, I mean, you got all kind of video. When it was time to find the one video, Paul had all kind of video, a lot of video. And so all the video stuff that he had, but here it is, you got video, you got witnesses, and Chief Green can't solve this. He don't have no comprehensive public safety plan. Come on, Chief Green. I mean, right now, this is dangerous. It's dangerous. They have told Beverly, you will never get that seat. They're going to make sure she don't get this seat. These are the people who said it in those chambers where staff was running for their life. Literally. All right, let's play it.
You're too old. Yeah, you're too old.
But they asked me, what would it take to get me a yes vote? I hear that. I hear.
Whoa. Hold up. Let's pause the time. Okay, we can't have the audience yelling out. Okay, we can't have the audience yelling out. Everybody just remain calm. All right, finish. Go ahead, Dennis. Can we please stop yelling out?
And let's stop selling lies to the public. We have 30 days to fill that seat, and the clock is ticking the day after someone passes away. So we don't have all day to figure this out. We must, as my colleague in the 3rd Ward always said, and when you said that he's just a puppet with a hand up his ass, when you made that comment towards him, we're just trying to get done the business of this city.
All right, so this is what's going to happen, because I've asked several times. And so as I'm identifying people that are yelling out, you're going to get your warnings.
Oh, okay. So in the back corner. Pardon me, in the back corner.
Point, officer.
In the back corner.
Now see, this is what I was saying. Y'all letting this stuff slide, and somebody gonna get hurt up in here. Somebody gonna get hurt. Y'all letting this slide.
Council will remain at ease.
You're too old. Yeah, you're too old.
You was on Facebook talking shit too about my aunt. So you be quiet.
You gonna tell us to be equal. Don't pick sides. That's all I'm saying. Don't pick sides. Tell everybody to chill. Everybody is grown as hell. Y'all acting like big ass kids. That's all I'm saying. Everybody needs to chill. So say everybody, not just us.
And it's not. She done cussed everybody out. Everybody got a gun. Somebody got a gun. Somebody got a gun. Somebody up in here with a gun, they say. They say somebody in here with a gun. And we got one police officer. Any other time, they had 10, 12 police officers.
Yo, you can't make this up. No one has been charged. I ain't passing a damn thing, okay? I am not passing a damn thing. One, you have a whole police chief. Hey, Jed, welcome. You got a whole police chief with all kind of video footage. Beverly done got a bullet in her car, and you think I ain't passing SH. I'm not passing nothing. And I mean that. That day you had seniors in the stairwell. They was like, Tonya, there's somebody, they're going to get you. Look, I showed y'all the video. Look, here's the bullet in her car. Chief Green. Chief Green. This is not a joke. That day we had one officer. Any other time, we got 10 to 12 if they knew they were coming. I went and told the officers, you're going to have a problem. About 10 minutes after it was 12 of them that came. Now she got a bullet in her car. I don't do regrets. I told him I don't want nobody shooting at me, and I don't want to have to shoot nobody. And I'm a pretty damn good shot. But this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I had a whole stalker calling me. I done outstalked him. He calls me, and now he's like, Tonya, you getting ready to put on that gospel song. Yep, I sent you 15 scriptures. Sure did. So this is the bullet in her car. This is the very real bullet. She's had 5 flats. How come Chief Green ain't arrested nobody? Welcome, Jedediah. How you doing?
Wow, glad to be on the Tonya Burns Show. I'm elated. Thank you for having me.
So I saw you earlier was it Chicago? What happened with that?
It never stops. And so, yeah, we just basically, we've been, there was a few arrests, but there was a brutal police arrest that happened in Chicago a few days before. And I was asked to come and look at some things. And so, interestingly enough, when I was on my way to go talk to somebody about that, I saw more young people in that same area being arrested. And I was just basically watching it. And so it looked like there's a gang war going on, according to the police. And we just want to make sure they police the proper way.
Yeah, yeah. And them streets of Chicago ain't no joke. I done been on them. Look, I have. Look, you made friends with them.
But I was really, 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 well, first of all, I was proud of Bev because she is committed to seeing this thing through. She's a seasoned woman and she's running for council, and this has been a lot, but she's committed to seeing it through. But at the same time, I'm really shocked because she just got that car. She haven't even had it for 3-4 months, and the bullet hole is nothing to play with.
No, it's not. And she's had 5 flats.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the 5 flats. And then it's not even like little flats that you can plug. It's like you can't even repair them. So somebody is definitely trying to send a message to Beverly Biggs.
The people, look, they just told her she'll never get that seat. I mean, we got a whole video. They said she will never get that seat. They were coming to get Beverly Biggs. They were coming to get me, an elected official, and a police chief does not provide me any protection. Does not. He said he doesn't feel it's any threat. And I can't make this up. You know, here you got bullet holes being put in people's car. This is in Beverly's car. No, so Beverly and Dumas are the 2 who are for that seat. And their pick did not make it, LaShawn. Now they're gonna have the recount, but I was told those numbers aren't gonna change. Look, them numbers been ran so much, there are no inaccuracies. So to have her in this seat, they don't want her in it. So I mean, but to where you getting, your tires is on flats and bullets.
Yeah, but I'm actually shocked because I met the candidate, LaShawn. I met her. It's the mayor, the city's factor, and she just talked about all the community service work. She said to me directly to my face, no matter who wins, we just need to talk it out, and we need to work on getting the 3rd ward the proper representation. No matter who wins, I'm in. And the moment that it didn't become favorable, she ain't answering nobody's calls and hanging up in everybody's face. What's going on?
Everybody's face. She did hang up in everybody, but Bev,
we got work to do. I'm calling you. Answer. Didn't you say you was taking calls?
She's like, "Excuse me, sir. Who was this?" Click.
You ain't busy. You ain't got no counsel to prepare for. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, she
don't want to hear from them. She like, y'all better go on now. Yeah. But she had a good advantage. She was at every ribbon cutting. He campaigned with city dollars. He created a non-city position, violated the charter. He gave her every advantage. This to me shows if she had ran by herself, she might have did better. Having the mayor back her did not help. They don't trust him. And he could not get her elected, which means he's probably going to have a problem getting himself elected and then also his wife again.
So I wonder, do you know if is she still the ambassador right now? Should we expect more ribbon cuttings?
Listen, them numbers ain't right. He ain't gonna have no need for. No,
I'm not trying to laugh at it. It's just funny to me a little bit. It's just a little.
Yeah. I mean, the city charter is very clear. It states that multi-member body is any group or any persons that's more than one, that it's a multi-member body. There were two. It was supposed to be three, but it ended up being two, which means it's supposed to come to council for approval. I mean, she was violating the charter. And I know they watch my show, and I tell them out the charter. And so, she probably should have ran by herself. She linked up with the wrong folks. People don't like Liddell. People don't like Candace. And people want to change. They want to change. So look, you got something coming up. What is going on June 1st? Which is a Sunday.
Well, yes, it is a Sunday. So first of all, thank you for having me on and even giving me the opportunity to talk about this. So on June 1st, we're bringing awareness to the city of Flint a different way. Obviously, this casket is infamous now, so we got to re-rent it. We're going to bring the casket back. There won't be nobody in it. Ain't going to be nobody in the casket, okay?
Listen.
They thought that we were a family that couldn't afford the proper things, so we were rolling our family member from the church to, like, there was all kind of rumors. Some of them was funny. So we're bringing the casket back to bring awareness that obviously is a high ticket item. And the goal is to bring awareness. So on June 1st, we're gathering at City Hall at 2. After we're going to be a morning worship service that's going to happen. There's going to be some pastors coming. But after that, we're going to meet at 2. And my mom is coming. She's coming to be in this worship service. It's going to be prayer, prophetic words going to go forth. It's going to be awesome. But at 2 o'clock, we're going to gather at City Hall. We're going to walk a casket from City Hall through certain parts of Flint to highlight what's going on. And then there's going to be a culmination at a park that I think the gentleman's own named, I can't think of the name, Maurice Davis has a park.
He has he
has a parcel of land with maybe a stage or something. We're gonna
he has like it's an amphitheater. It's on Dayton Avenue, and so he does have that.
Yeah, so we're gonna
so is that your meetup, or that's where you end up? Or
that's where we end up. So we're gonna walk from City Hall to the park. We ain't going to nobody's house except for the houses that we're gonna show along the way.
So you're not motorcading?
Yeah, it'll be both. It'll be some people walking and some people riding.
Okay. And so you're taking it to the people?
Yeah.
Okay. You got your route set out?
So we're looking at it, and just so you'll know, Councilwoman Tonya Burns, we're going to be respectful to your government and what the law states. So we are going to be trying to get a permit.
Please do, because they're going to get you on that.
Yeah, we're gonna be. I think that they didn't think we were doing any reading, to be honest. But we're gonna be trying to get a permit according to what the Constitution says, that the city should not be trying to stop us from having our rights, but they should definitely be protecting us in it. So the route will be defined within the next coming days. We will be looking for a permit, but we also will be doing what the Constitution says regardless.
So is everyone meeting? You've been barred from City Hall. You can't go to City Hall until when? Is that tomorrow you go to court? I didn't understand why they said you can't go to City Hall. That was crazy.
I've been to many cities in America, and Flint is the only place that have literally kicked me out of everything. Now, I'm used to restraining orders, but getting kicked out is different. So, yeah, like this is the first time in my life that I've been barred from City Hall, which is, I've never heard of it. But it is a bond condition that I'm hoping I can overcome tomorrow. We're going to be going to the court asking them to lift that bond condition.
So what time do you go to court? And what judge?
So I'll be there at 8:30. There's a courthouse across from a Ferris wheel, I think.
Yeah. What judge do you have?
I don't know the judge. We're kind of confused on some of the logistics, but we'll be there at 8:30 tomorrow. Okay,
because you're going to have people who are going to want to come to support. And so this is why I'm asking, because I know that when I got kicked off. I want to thank all the people who showed up to support me. I've had people asking, and you have a really following of seniors. Seniors are saying, people who fought through the civil rights, they're like, yeah, tell that young man to keep fighting.
Yeah. I'm covered by the elders. They rocking with me. It's these young people who we got to get real motivated. But yeah, there is a large contingent. Even the people coming into the city, middle aged and senior, and that makes me feel good because they've seen the changes and they're not afraid.
So you're going to be in Judge Crawford's court. He's a very fair judge. Matter of fact, his daughter was in ballet, but my daughter was in ballet for years, ballet and tap. So Judge Crawford is he really don't like a bunch. He's very down to earth. I never heard of stopping someone. That's just crazy to me. You didn't do anything criminal. They don't want you here because they told me they want you to take your ass home. Okay. So yeah.
Who want me to take my ass home?
They don't like you. Okay. Okay. Tonya Burns seemed to be if somebody go to jail between you and Arthur Woodson, I seem to be the get out and got him out of jail twice.
Hey, Tonya, Councilwoman, you a real one. You showed up on the scene, and I am forever grateful that you a real one. Nobody can mess with Tonya because I got her back. You was there on the scene, and you did something phenomenal. I forever appreciate it. You and Fife.
Well, I thank you, but I would have did that. I would want somebody to stand in the gap if that was my child. And me and your mother have had many conversations. And even when you were temporarily incarcerated, we talked a lot, me and your mother. And I look forward to meeting your mother personally. I truly do. But I mean, you had a probable, I don't even know what a probable disturbing the peace. I mean, come on. That's like having the music up too loud. I've never seen anybody arrest them people who threaten to get Tonya Burns and Beverly Biggs. I think JWC they were state. Arrest those people those are violators of the subcode section 31-10. That's on video. Arrest them. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. And so you got a call from Ed Taylor, I heard.
There's supposed to be a call from Ed Taylor, hopefully tomorrow. He just can't call me after 4. I'm being very strict on this, but yeah, he's supposed to call me after 4 with the intent of de-escalation. So we'll see what happens.
So tell me, what does that mean? What is his mindset for that?
Well, I don't know. I've not talked to the guy yet. This is through a proxy, a third person that's speaking. So they're saying that that there's supposed to be a call from the city hall. It will be Ed Taylor, and it's supposed to be tomorrow. So that's all I know so far. Again, that's also they want to de-escalate. But I do want to say this because I saw her name in there. When I was under the arrest, I heard Jeffrey Carter and Jonathan Todd said they wasn't coming to the scene because somebody had to stay back to tell the story. Is that true?
I have to get out of jail.
Somebody had to do the bail money. Okay, Jeff Carter, I got you.
Yeah, that's me. You and Arthur Woodson stay out of jail. Okay. As much as y'all may seem to be unfortunate adversaries, you have the same advocacy. You really do. Literally, I've been there when he's gotten arrested. He was jailed for 16 hours. They couldn't tell him why. It was similar to yours when he said I was stopping. The officer said I was stopping with the arrest. You were already in the car. You were in the car. I had not walked up to the window. Soon as I got there, he wasn't even in Flint. I asked him for his badge number. He was disrespectful. But when the white man asked him, Dennis Pfeiffer, he gladly gave it. And then told me, I said, oh, when the white man asked, you're making this racist. No, you're making it racist. And did you come from another department that you were fired from? Because that we will get these officers who come from other departments. You know, if I'm asking you your badge number, then you give it to me. And when I'm asking you your name, officer, that's your title. I'm asking you in my capacity as an elected official. What is your name, officer? I don't know. And I'm asking him in his time. I don't care about a title, but I do know how to do business and etiquette. Don't come at me that way. If he's a captain, Captain Smith, Lieutenant Smith, you don't get to call me just Tonya because you're in your official capacity out of your jurisdiction. You don't have a warrant. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And go ahead.
Was so phenomenal because And I've seen this now consistently with almost every encounter with the police. They don't want to identify themselves in Flint.
No.
I've never
No.
seen that before.
No. This was the same squad that the mayor seems to be dispatching, which I don't know. It makes the police chief look ineffective. I've had several police chiefs call me. Not just that. I've had, when I did it, I had an incident literally they accused me of using someone else's credit card at the Walgreens, and they called my husband, and he had worked with the police chief, and he was like, we have her in her car, and they had me surrounded with the guns pulled. So I get very angry, and it triggers me because I know what the law is. My husband's brother, an attorney, he worked for the police department, sued them, and won. And then he came back to work. They couldn't do nothing with him afterwards because he knew, And so when they surrounded me for using my own credit card, said I was a Black woman in some high heels and a torn up shirt and some shorts. Y'all know that wasn't the truth. And now if I had that body, I'd wear it everywhere. Trust me. But I had on a 2-piece, like little jogging suit because I was at home. I went to buy $1,900 worth of gift cards because my sales reps, but at that time we would do like drawings, and they had sold just one person had sold 19 security systems. And so I went and got the gift cards, and they wanted to know, literally asked me, and I had my checkbook and I had my two secretaries on. And they're telling me to be cool, that time, just calm down. No, you don't get to ask me. He's like, well, can I see your checkbook? No, that's none of your damn business. Can I see any of your credit cards in your wallet have your name on it? Who the hell are you talking to? And don't tell me that you're breaching my peace. So after they found out, well, no, they lied. She didn't steal $1,900. She paid for them. She gave her ID, which was not required. And so the chief called the police chief. This was the Flushing police chief. They called my husband and said, well, hey, are you going to come up here with your wife? And he says, no, and y'all not going to want her up there either. I cussed everybody out. Because you're not going to disrespect me. And don't dare tell me as a Black woman that, where my money, show me, my checkbook, that my finances have to be what's affordable to you, or you going to put me, don't do that. And so it triggers me when you ask them the questions. And he said, we didn't have a warrant, a probable disturbing the peace. So imagine if you sit at home right now, your neighbor cut their music up. They come out, ask you to cut it down. You cut it down. They say, okay, we're not going to write you a ticket. We're going to arrest you, hold you. How many hours were you in there?
I was there for a day and a half, but this was probably the most fascinating thing that I've ever seen, because I saw the bewilderment even with the sheriffs. So even when they brought me into the lockup, the sheriffs was saying to them, wait, this is ticketable. Why is he being arrested? Why is he being, booked in here? And so they did that, and they had this real apologetic tone. Sorry that you got to bend over and cough, make sure ain't nothing in your ass. Sorry you got to lift your balls, because this was ticketable. So I was just thrown into a bullpen with about 24 other men farting and everything else going on. So it was just like, so they kind of, you could tell by the way the sheriff was treating me. And I guess people were calling the phones too, by the way, I don't know. But I was in there for a day and a half, and they were saying, look, we're just waiting on the city to bring over the ticket, so that a summons or something like that. Once the city brings an appearance ticket, you'll be going home. Well, after a whole day, they was like, well, wait a minute, why is there no appearance ticket? And then I learned through my own people that there was never even a warrant signed for them to do what they did, to pull over a vehicle that had no probable cause to stop my vehicle. Mm-hmm. Somebody said, well, there was a complaint made, but it didn't mean that they were supposed to put me under surveillance and stop my vehicle. My vehicle was not in the commission of any crime. I was not driving. They did not have a direct positive ID that I was even the guy in the vehicle. When they went to try to stop it, it was black. I'm black. So they didn't have probable cause. They didn't have a warrant. They came right up to the car saying, Jedediah, get out of the vehicle. You're going to jail. And didn't identify themselves. They didn't present any document. And this is the craziest part. My vehicle had nothing to do with the stop, had nothing to do with the complaint. So they had no reason to tow my vehicle.
So how many people were in the car with you? I know, but how many? I need you to say it.
That's me and a guy named Tito, 2 people.
And so when Tito, they wouldn't let him drive it. They would not let me drive it, and it's all on camera. I couldn't drive it. Tito couldn't drive it. We're both licensed drivers. It was to show you, and this is going to cost the city. So we got that $50 million lawsuit, the $10 million, your lawsuit. We got the Faith, who was fired for actually getting in-home plumbing for Flint residents for 50 homes. She got fired. The deputy fire marshal, he got fired. He's suing the city. Let's say Fire Chief Barton too. I mean, just suing the city. I was illegally removed from my seat. You know, I can't look. My terms is $650 an hour. Listen, but I won. But now they want to appeal it to the Michigan Appeal Court. This mayor is playing games with the police and our city attorneys. He is playing games. And so they were trying to charge you for terrorism.
They tried to give me a felony. Yeah. That was crazy to me.
Yeah.
I was told that they petitioned the prosecutor's office for a felony, to which the felony was denied for insufficient evidence. But I couldn't believe that a felony was even the attempt. Now, what was crazy, though, is, Councilwoman Burns, this is actually lawsuit number 4. I'm not filed but 1 yet. But we basically, and I apologize to you and to the city of Flint, but that's why we're trying to make sure we don't just file the other ones, because I'm not going after the city's finances. We're not going after their bonds. They're not going to care because it's not affecting them. But I'm going to be trying to sue their bonds so that they would have to pay the
Well, I know Fire Chief Barton was suing him personally too. He was suing him personally because he's doing the city. So you can sue whatever, but he what he's doing is just crazy. I mean, he is abusing his position and his title and the city's resources. He's abusing them. And so Woodson is suing. You and Woodson have the same case. Your case is identical to his. He did 16. You probably did 36 hours. And his case, he won. I think it was in Crawford's court too. Was it Crawford's court? But I mean, I think that it is a gross misuse of our police department. And here's the thing: I was on with Ken, and he was saying, they don't have to, if it's the mayor cannot make them do something that's unlawful. Okay. And if so, Tonya, they need to sue them. They need to sue them. He said they cannot. He says, you don't have to. If the mayor's saying go arrest him with no warrant, no probable cause, they don't have to do it. They don't. And he said they need to sue. And I've had other attorneys. He says, as officers. So if they listening, because they listen, they told me they was mad how many shares they were mad I wouldn't lie. I'm mad. Look, y'all don't have to listen to the mayor. He don't know what he's doing. He's getting y'all in trouble. This is their career, not his. And I'm speaking from my husband who retired from the Flint police. We're now best friends. Y'all know, but he was like, and today we talked about that. He had called and he's like, they don't have to do that. They don't have to follow through with anything that is unlawful. He said, and the mayor should not be telling them. So if they listen and look, because he sued the city department and won, it's a case on the books already where he won his case and his brother was the attorney. And so what they did, I mean, they were pissed when I showed up there. Get back in your car. And I didn't have to get in my car. I shouldn't have got back in my car. But he got some words. And it just angered me because all the shootings and the violence that we have, and they chose to come after you for disorderly conduct because although they may have thought that the casket was distasteful, you don't use the police. He should have went another way about it. He should have. What was your thoughts behind bringing the casket there?
So the casket is.
I was watching it just like everybody else.
The casket is not unique to advocacy. There are people learn in different ways. Some people learn visually, and so the casket is a symbolic prop. And the message is to canceling the funeral of Flint. You guys have an 11-year water crisis amongst many other things. And so the casket was simply saying, hey, we're canceling the funeral. People are dying. People have died. And so basically we were taking it from City Hall, taking it to the mayor because you're the decision maker. This is the prop, but you're the one who is responsible for the conditions, you know, continuing on. And so it was nothing threatening about it. It was nothing intended to be disruptive to law and order. We did it according to the ordinances. We stayed on the public way. We made sure we were very audible, so nothing was misconstrued. We didn't go on their personal property. There were about 35 people out there, to which at my instruction, they stayed across the street. We had a very small, it wasn't even a long time that we were out there being audible, but the casket was left there with a very unique sign: until you do right by Flint, everything you touch will crumble. That came from a resident who actually had that same sign in city council. So yeah, and
well, let me tell you where those signs came from. When they removed my behind from city council, Stephanie Rogers, and I've got the receipt, she did 5 or 6 signs, and she was like, you know, when we were talking, she came up with I think I've got it. And she put on there, till you do right by Flint, everything you touch will crumble. She did by Eva, she did point of order. I forget, I got all 5. But you made a point. How many officers were there?
I think 4, between 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
Yes, because one car had 2 and the other one was 99. One.
Okay.
That means 1.
So there were plenty of police that were there. And did they say anything to you?
They escorted me to the house. Even crazy enough, they knew they were there with us at City Hall. Then we had we had an encounter with them, and they said they even knew where we were going. If we were terrorists, why would the police guide us there? It's crazy.
You know, and I agree. If you were disturbing the peace, why didn't they write you a ticket then and say, hey, you're disturbing the peace? You had 4, 5, 6 police officers, vehicles there. I was told there were 6.
Oh yeah, there was officers that I didn't interact with them, but I did see officers in unmarked vehicles. That's true.
Right. And so with having those there, they didn't tell you at the time that you can't do this. They should have wrote you the ticket. That was my question. Why didn't you write him the ticket? You are more than 24 hours later, and they're at this point it's harassing you. At this point. So there goes some of the signs. And you had that sign on the casket that you had wheeled, until you do right by Flint. She had some more. What was the other ones? This is from her proof from the print place, because it seems like there are people who are actually in the fight. So you didn't get charged with anything, or how much is the ticketable offense?
Well, first of all, shout out to your producer. They on top of their stuff, but I don't know what the fine is. I don't know anything. This was all strange and it is all unusual. So we're still figuring it out.
Oh, you don't have an amount on it?
I wasn't given a ticket. I don't know I don't know what's going on.
You wasn't given a ticket.
I wasn't given a ticket, and that's what I'm saying. Even when I was in jail, everybody was lost. They said they're gonna probably
get out. When you got out, what did they say?
Well, once they finally did their paperwork, then I was arraigned that same day by the courts. But even in that, Councilwoman Burns, it was so strange because, we had people was applying pressure. There was a lot of moving parts to this, but they tried to hold off even when they finally turned it in, so that they tried to wait until court was over. Then they turned it in. So I would have had to wait the next day for arraignment. But God created a miracle for me, and the judge did the arraignment right away.
So part of your bond, so they come up with the bond that you cannot go to City Hall. Nothing occurred at City Hall. Nothing.
Except for me getting kicked out with excessive force.
I think you used to getting kicked out.
of Flint, yeah. So I think there's probably about 4 places in Flint that I still can go. I pray to God I don't get kicked out of Banana Boat.
Oh, that's my ward. Listen, he worked. We had a kid, the person last summer. A bullet went in a car with the kid that was shot. I think she got shot in the arm. And so these are issues that Green and the mayor need to be worried about. So you are going to be charged with a felony act of terrorism. You are not the first person that went to the mayor's house seeking help or questions. Did you know that?
I do.
Okay. Tammy, who was a mom, her house was shot up. There was video of it. And she went there desperate. She had went to Chief Green. She had went to the mayor. She had went, not just one time, like over like a week or two. And this person was still threatening. She went there, rang the doorbell, left the message. Hi, my name is Tammy. I need the mayor or someone to call me back. I have my children are home and I'm scared for my children's life. I had played the video. The person was still calling, threatening to shoot her. The state rep called me back and said, she called me and she says, Tonya, I don't appreciate you giving her, coming to my house with her and ringing my doorbell. I says, I didn't come to your house. I said, that's just simply not true. You gave her, she says, no, yes, you did. I said, no, that is a lie. I did not. Well, you gave her the address. I said, no, I did not. I told her, don't go. Let me reach Chief Green tomorrow. Tammy got tired. The person was still threatening her and had already shot her house up with 8 bullets went through the house. 8 bullets had went through her house. She left her name. My name is Tammy. I'm a respiratory therapist. I work at the hospital. I'm scared for my family's life. Here's my address. Here's my telephone number. And she left that message. So I told the state rep, I said, Cindy, I said, hold on, let me get Tammy on the line. I said, Tammy, I got the state rep on the line. She says, hi, ma'am, very respectful. She says, I'm trying to reach the mayor and the police chief. My house was shot up. She said, that's not my problem. You don't come to my house. She says, ma'am, I need some help. She says, well, you need to go to police. That is not my problem. And I'm calling the state police on you. She said, how did you get my number, my address? She says, ma'am, I Googled you. She said, ma'am, I need your help. She says, don't come to my house no more. Then Tammy called her name, which, and then Cindy hung up, but she offered no help. This is a mother. And she said she was scared then. This mother who had them bullets come through her house was scared. She came. If the mayor is doing his job at City Hall, people won't come to his house. You went there to try to talk to the mayor. And then you have people go there to fill out applications. We need your birth certificate. We need your mama's birth certificate, your granddaddy's. We need your passport. We need 14 vials of blood. We need to know if you have any allergies. Literally, you had an application to fill out to talk to the mayor. Did anybody ever call you back?
Never.
Okay. Did anybody call back any other people who filled out the applications?
Yes, they told them that if they wanted to meet with him, they should have been at the community meeting the day before. And I heard that story about that interaction with that mother, and I was appalled. And you would not want to believe those things, but when you look at the statement and then you look at how the statement was drafted and where it was sent through, then you start to see a picture of how the state rep and the mayor works. It's not,
yeah,
it's
horrible.
It's not good.
Horrible. This mother, I went to her. I don't even know how she got my number. And when she got my number, I went to her house and she just couldn't get the help. I would have done the same thing. When you're trying to keep your family alive and you want help, you go to the people who can help you. If the mayor and the state rep can't help you, then who can?
And it is American tradition to knock on the door. It's only harassment once you've been told don't do it again. But the politicians knock on your door to get your vote. So once they got the seat, you do have a right to knock on their door to talk about their vote. If there's no other ways to reach them. Believe it or not, there are places in America where they don't even have offices for you to come and meet. You just can't be threatening and things like that. And that's why there is the provision of the police. The police are supposed to protect not just the citizens, but also it is a privilege that should be given to the elected officials, even if they feel like they're in danger on some shape, form, or fashion, because everybody doesn't know or learn the same way. Everybody doesn't have the right intentions.
Right.
So it's very sad to hear that Liddell can have her own personal police protection, but you can't, when clearly there's been some volatile things happening. That's kind of strange.
Oh, absolutely right. And, Chief Green told me, he told me something he should be, and I think he thought it was funny. He said, give you protection. Well, I may as well get protection too. And it's Chief Green needs to go at this point. I have no respect. Just like he wants to go home, I want every officer to go home. We have a public safety plan that states if you get threats, we have, this person calls me. And a matter of fact, I told him, I said, I think we friends now. I said, you didn't, so how you going to out cuss me out? It depends on which Tonya you get. You talk crazy to me. Don't do that. And don't threaten me. I don't take kindly to threats. I filed the proper procedure. They said they can't find the person. This person called me almost every day. Look, they even text me on my city phone. Okay. So we have a police chief that lacks the capability of even keeping the council people who get threats daily and text messages safe. So no, nobody should feel safe in the city of Flint. And I know they watching, but I don't give a damn. I don't. I simply don't. Nobody should feel safe because the police chief has not made me feel safe. This person called, now I do a whole gospel concert with him. I play, look, this is probably the little asshole calling now. And so look, just got a call. And so if I'm not safe, I can't tell residents they should feel safe. I can't. And I don't.
Well, I think that people may sometimes miss it when the other council people are doing it brave by refusing to pass things and go with the spin narrative. I'm pretty sure. But that's the way that you are. That's why you're there to hold things accountable and to make sure things are transparent. The call is for, why would I fund somebody that I feel is illegitimate or that's a message that people need to understand, but it's a brave thing. You are a brave councilwoman. I wish you were in my city.
People used to say, oh, she can shoot good because her husband's retired from the police. No, that has nothing to do with my marksmanship. I want to go home like I want the police to go home and I want the residents to be safe, period. And I have a problem when I see a misuse and abuse of the Flint Police Department. We have a police chief that has refused to keep me safe. He cannot find the person who calls and plays on my city phone that they have all access to the records to. How good of a police chief if you can't find that? I mean, come on. I mean, are you effective at this point? No. And then he shrugged it off. It's not funny to me. It's not funny to me at all. At all. And so when we talk about this, it is a problem for me. And I take it very serious. I can't tell the mother who is in her home worried about her children that you're going to be okay when I have a police chief who has not made sure I am okay. So when I show up to my city council meetings, understand that the police chief is not following his own public safety plan when someone keeps threatening to beat my F me up, slap me, and do all this other stuff. Run up on me if you want to. I'm really not the one. I'm not. And this is a thing for me when he cannot keep me safe. I mean, how confident can we feel in him keeping the public safe? We can't.
But that's what I said earlier, though. Even where you're talking, like one thing I learned, Flint y'all not afraid. People just been divided, and people have been oppressed with because of the division. But y'all not no scary people, and I didn't realize that y'all get to walk around with y'all poles on y'all. So I was very shocked to find that the council was as armed as it was. I was like,
me and Dennis are, because Dennis was receiving death threats. Dennis was receiving death threats, and Chief Green wouldn't do nothing for him. And when Liddell told the lie, and so he has always been armed, and Chief Green wouldn't do nothing. He only protects the council people that the mayor allows, which is a lawsuit. So just so he knows, so they can run back, tell that, because I'm going after, I could give a damn at this point. Well, we're going to lose friendship? I mean, no, I'm not there for that. I support the police budget when it's right, but if you can't keep the public safe. Dennis had people threatening him from all over. Chief Green wouldn't even send anybody to his house. He has a family. Whether you agree with them or like them or not, take the personal part. Everything's too personal. He's sitting up there letting the mayor run his office, and the mayor is making the chief look terrible and inept. The mayor is making the chief look inept. And Chief Green knows what to do. I've had conversations with him. He knows what to do. I've had several of them. But the problem is you have a mayor who cannot get a person elected, which means he won't be elected again because he couldn't get his candidate elected. People are saying no more Neelys. So they have a problem. But you can't keep me safe. You don't have to like people to do your job. And in his public safety plan, it states any threats from incredible threats. Well, hell, I got text messages and voicemails and daily calls. And I get zero protection. So yeah, I'm a little pissed with the Flint police and the lack of him following his own procedures and policies. And then with them breaking them. Those officers probably don't know that they don't have to do anything that's unlawful. And they don't. They don't know that. And so that to me is something, it is something that is amazing to me, that the lawlessness is with our higher officials. The lawlessness is with the mayor. The lawlessness is with the police chief by failing to keep council members safe. It's lawless. Keeping you for 36 hours looking for a charge for a crime that they can get you on terror. Do they know what terrorism is? We know that first court councilman, one of the groups that gave him money, $283,000 or $280, has ties to terrorists.
Go on and keep cooking.
Yeah. And so when we talk about what terrorism is, his 990s we haven't seen for 23 or 24. And that group, the Ways and Means Act, have stated we want to revoke their nonprofit status because of terroristic ties, terrorism. But you're getting charged with following the laws with the police. Guaranteed they got cussed out by the mayor. And I'm sorry that they got cussed out by the mayor. I know he went off. I know he cussed them out. You brought them to my house with that casket. Sir, they didn't break a law. Don't you ever. And this is his tactical team that they also sent out on seniors for packing up park benches and flower pots. Real tough guys. I got called to that one. They stopped them from moving. He threw the seniors out, then sent this 10 cars was over there to stop them from packing up park benches and flower pots on some seniors. You sound like some real insecure, the mayor. Police chief said he didn't do it. Chief Green, how do you don't know what's going on in your own city, dispatching your officers in the command staff? How do you not know? That to me is that not to me, it is a problem. It's a problem. And so when we get this problem that keeps reoccurring, people are they racking up lawsuits.
So
somebody.
Can I ask you a question out of curiosity? So if I get, let's say I get a, so what is, so if, I'm just asking from a communal perspective, and maybe your audience, so you can help me out. If I get if we have an amicable conversation about de-escalation, like what do you think I should expect? And is de-escalation, I guess, what is it possible?
Look, you are now a thorn in their ass right now. They don't know what to do to handle you. You are a wild card. They made you a martyr by arresting you. I was like, they done made him a martyr. That's crazy. That was crazy. And so now they're trying to pull you back down to, they're handling you. They want to handle you, which is impossible because they need to watch your lives. Don't waste their time. And they're going to try to reel you in. and to try to, the mayor should have came out. If he was there, he should have came out and talked to you. If somebody is willing a whole casket that a wheel broke, people took their belts off to make it keep going, I would have came out, or I would have said, hey, come on in here. We need to talk because this is serious to you. You done went on our roads, which are bad, our sidewalks that are bad. Y'all pushed this casket, you rigged it up. I would have made sure that I would said, hey, look, y'all, look, one of the officers, can you come in just to make sure he's not violent? Because something might not be right with him. He got this whole casket, and watch them too, because they was dedicated. But that is the people of Flint saying we are dedicated to change. We're dedicated to no more children being shot in the street. We dedicated to Flint not being the #1 city in the state of Michigan with violence, gun violence against children. It means that they were dedicated to saying we need home repair, and saying that they dedicated to no more pissing on the residents. Listen to what we need. They're saying there's no more not paying the resident. Where's my money for the water settlement? That is the dedication, and why that casket was wheeled in its weary state onto his sidewalk, not on his property, because we own, the city owns the sidewalk. That part he missed. He missed the opportunity that in front of everything to bridge that gap with you. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but look, come back and tell us when you done.
I don't know if he's gonna call for real. I'll be shocked if he.
Ed Taylor will call. He will absolutely 100% call. Ed is gonna call. He'll be like, no, hey man, you know, you would have casted mayor's house. You know, what was that about? No, we can't be having that. And then you, well, what do you mean? You know, and that's gonna be your dialogue. You know, man, you know, why the mayor's wife felt insecure, well, so did the mother whose house got shot with 8 bullets. Right. You know, where's the water settlement money? And by the way, can you tell me why he fired Faith, who got 50 people to get new in-home plumbing, actually through Arthur Woodson? You know, there goes Steph. Y'all was dedicated. You know, he should have asked why. But and here's the thing: as I was going over her budget, they don't care. They're collecting checks. They're collecting checks, and whatever other deals that they're making. I want to know about that golf course deal. $72 million we paying for the golf course again. We don't know how much they're making from the bar. They refuse to tell us. We don't know how much they're making in the marijuana thing that they have there, how much money that their revenue that they're getting. You know, they didn't act, the mayor's administration refused to ask for their financials again. I mean, come on. If something looked like a backdoor deal, that one is it. Now that's the front door, because they bold. I got to give it to them. They bold. Why are we paying someone to run a golf course, and then we don't know how much they're making at the bar? How much money is coming back to the city? We ain't seen it. And when you ask those questions, they don't want to, they don't want to answer them. And so you got a lot of reasons. I don't know what your conversation is going to be like tomorrow, but Ed is going to come at you strong. He's going to. Ed is the one that's going,
No, listen, they want to come at me humble because I'm not happy. So I don't
it's not going to be humble
approach with me, because I can come just as strong, if not stronger. And so one of the things that I do want to make clear, though, that was awesome about this casket as I'm watching it and reliving it, the wheels did break on it while we were walking. People were taking off their belts. I took off my belt. We wrapped up. We were looking for sheets and all kind of stuff. It was amazing willpower. But you know what was so beautiful is almost every time we turned, a new person was added to that walk. To when we went there with 35 people, that was very powerful.
So how long did the walk take you?
I don't
What's
remember.
the wheel and all?
I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun. It was such an amazing and beautiful experience that I kind of sort of didn't realize or notice how long it took. And there's a superpower in being bow-legged. I walk faster than all you.
Look, did Tito stop and smoke a cigarette?
He did. Oh my God. Not only was he smoking a cigarette, but he literally stopped holding the casket. So you got these women on one side and me on
All
another
right.
for at least about 3 blocks. I think he did that on the incline.
No, he cheated on the incline. So, I mean, I hope that the conversation with you and the mayor, and Ed is not he gonna talk. Ed is very down to earth. Um, he gonna come at you with what the mayor. He's gonna come strong at you with the mayor. Saying, "Look, man, you pulled a cast. What you think was gonna happen? That you gonna have that? Look, the mayor's wife. You scared the mayor's wife. You know that was embarrassing. That you gonna hear that. You scared them. You couldn't have thought of nothing else. And so hopefully that y'all be able to have some good dialogue after you get past the initial part. But believe the mayor will be on speakerphone in the background because that's how it goes. He's he's gonna hear. There'll be some pause. There'll be some when it get quiet. That means it'll be on a mute so the mayor can tell Ed what to say. Look, that's how it go. So the mayor will be there to listen. It's not gonna be a private you and Ed. It's not going to be that way. It's not going. That's not. So it'll be a room full of people, and Chief Green will probably be in there too, because he done probably been summoned. You done let your officers bring that casket. They was there at my house too. Look, sorry the officers got cussed out. Then they felt they had to do something unlawful because the mayor sent them on that by arresting you. They wanted to make it right. You caused them to get in trouble. They done got in trouble. So your conversation with him is going to be you're gonna go through many different variations, but you have a very strong personality, very strong, very strong.
And
So
I
what
know
do you hope to get out
I
of it?
need them to understand that I'm not doing this from a position of I don't need a damn thing from them, because I went through the processes of trying to interact with them. I was very respectful. I did everything lawful, and I just hope that they don't think that they coming at it to a point where they looking down, because I'm highly irritated because we didn't have to get to this. So if I just really suggest, if there is any conversation, that they don't try to come at me strong at all. There better be humility, because I don't give a damn.
No.
Okay, well, I'm saying it now on the air. I don't give a damn what they think they're gonna throw at me. I'm prepared for every scenario that we could think of, and God got the rest of them that we couldn't. So I'm not worried about this. I'm seeing this through for Flint, and they got one option. And I like this because I keep on being told literally no every step of the way. They better come humble, or I suggest they not call me at all, and let's just see what the system do.
Yeah, I think you kind of embarrassed the mayor. Not kind that you did, but you've done other protests with caskets before.
Yeah.
And so it was for messaging. You've done them. Do you know how many you've done?
I've done it literally I've done it quite a few times, but the most iconic one was when we did it every 2 weeks in a different part of Chicago. And that crowd just kept growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And we never had an issue with Mayor Rahm Emanuel at that time. He started calling me every day. What y'all got going on in the community? What can I do? And so it's really interesting because he's a Jewish man, to see a black mayor have this type of response. It really did throw me off.
Well, I think that, people got mad when the statement was made. You have a black mayor, black police chief, black fire chief, and a black city administrator, and you blaming the white folks. So what do they say? All of our skin folk ain't kinfolk. He should have met with you, but you went to his office, and you went not only to his office, you went to the mayor's office, the police chief's office, and the fire chief. Did the police chief call you back?
I went to everybody. I even went to pastors and everybody. Okay. I went to everybody. And it's like everybody had this, this force field of who are you, or forget you, you're not a resident. And you could just tell that these are people who they kind of sit in the ivory tower. Because and even when it was made clear, even talking to somebody, I said, well, look, I'm a national advocate. I do research. I do this. It's kind of like, well, this ain't Dalton. That's how people was responding. This ain't Dalton. This ain't Chicago. And I'm like, and so what does that mean? And there was this real condescending response that came from employees and this complete ignoring that happened from all of them. And yes, I went through all of them, took time, stayed here, tried to engage them, and now we're here. I didn't embarrass them; they embarrassed themselves.
Well, you got your hands full. So June 1st is 2 o'clock, and they're meeting at City Hall, and it's going to end up at Maurice Davis's amphitheater.
Yes, but that morning
is Maurice giving a concert?
That morning is going to be a worship gathering somewhere. I don't know. We've not even gotten a good response from like churches trying to, people are coming here. They're not going to get to go to their church. It's first Sunday. Some people have an anniversary, and we've been trying to find a church that will welcome visitors. I'm not a disruptor. I'm not a interrupter. I'm an invited guest. Residents here asked me to come here, and these people are coming, and it's like, where's the hospitality? So yeah, we're trying to find out if some churches.
They like, you brought a casket, Jen.
We're trying to get the pastors to get a church to go to on that Sunday morning. But if not, we're going to look for a place. There's going to be a morning worship gathering because I believe in God. And after that, we're going to go to do the walk at 2. So we'll also be telling people where they can go if they want to be part of the worship service. It's going to be amazing.
So your mom will be here, and it's people can walk or drive. So what is going to be your messaging with the casket this time?
We're still canceling the funeral of Flint, but the difference in what we're doing now is we're showing the areas that needs to be resuscitated and revived. So what's going to happen is we're going to stop at places that we identified that the world needs to see, because people don't know what Flintstones are going through. And people know, then they'll be more willing to back you all up and help. So the casket is going to be the second strand to whatever the experiences are, but we're canceling all of that. And whatever we highlight, we're going to try our best to try to do something about.
So you're saying you're canceling no more shootings, no more gun violence, no more. We need to make sure that the residents get paid, make sure that the pipes are fixed, our service lines, our indoor plumbing. So you're saying canceling all the harm that has been coming to the residents of the city of Flint, canceling the gray cloud that is hanging over and the negativity over the city of Flint.
Keep eating. We canceling whatever is killing the greatest quality of life of a Flintstone that they could have. If it's not helping, and if it's not what y'all dream of, we canceling it together.
Canceling it. So, well, I think that is there anything that you want to say? Because they talk about me and say I'll be on here for marathons.
Well, this is the first time that we got to actually talk. So I just want to say one thing.
No, you go as long as you want to. I mean, I'm fine.
So let the producers chime in just real quick. So when Jed came on and I was looking at the time and I was like, well, he has a partner for all night marathons.
No, so I think you get beat up a lot for bringing me to Flint. I believe that when I came the second time, you received me and was willing to show us the city, and you presented yourself as somebody that you will always be a responsible elected rep. But you've allowed people to sort of kind of beat you up for being the one that ultimately brought me there, when you really was just the one that received me and showed us around. Like, why did you do that?
Let me say, because a mom and a person that I like diversity. And I believe that we welcome people. And you were from Chicago. I lived there, back and forth. And so you welcome people into your city, whether you like them or not. There's only a couple people I'm not really welcoming. If the Ku Klux Klan came here, look, they gonna let them march down the street. You come here, people resonate with you. You have a message. You have an activism. And I told you, I had seen you back. This is the water crisis, when you were on this, and you found that video and put it up. And where you were going to people's homes because everyone didn't have transportation to get water. And was that young girl, or not young lady who did that powerful speech? I think she was with you about let it burn. They want to know why. She did a really powerful speech that was on, oh my God, Producer Jay, I think we played it before when they asked us about reparations, but I think she was with you. And when I was watching the video, my uncle in North Carolina sent me that video, and I'm like, oh my God, she looks like the one that was with you. And so when people come, we have to not be afraid of change. We should not be afraid of people who see things from a different lens. We shouldn't be afraid of people who say, hey, I see this problem because those people over there, they have this, and these are their rights and they're living much better. Why don't you have this for your community? You come in with a different lens and set of glasses, and sometimes it may take someone outside. I welcome outsiders. I do a whole show with Sheena Beckton, and I have Patrick Jean, who are my moderators on this show. And thank y'all because they're in the chat. Neither one of them are from here. I give a lot of myself to the residents. I want to see Flint do better. I do a show specifically with her because I don't want people to think in Flint everything. Flint is not, the world isn't like that. Let me say that. I remember when I moved a portion of my business, I added Illinois. I remember taking some of the people there. I took like 22 there, and some of them, it was the first time they were ever out of Flint. The first time. And so for me, it was, I like to, let's see what other people have to say. Welcome people. We're a city. How can we not grow if we are limited? You see the poverty, which was overwhelming. You see the things that Flint goes through. You see it. You see it in Chicago. I remember they started tearing up a Cabrini Green, and I'm like, they building over here, and gentrification. First I saw gentrification was Chicago. That's where I first saw it. So for me, it was why would I run from you? You're not somebody you can ignore.
Oh, thank you. But I'm just, it's not even that. I just couldn't believe, there were, a lot of politicians would want to save cover, save cover, save face. And I've watched Council President Liddell beat you over the head for bringing this dangerous man to the city. And I'm just like, why does she keep doing that? And then, you never said, what, I welcomed him. Or, we did talk when I came the second time. I told you I was coming. You welcomed me. But they've tried to weaponize that against you. And I just thought that it was unfair, but you've taken it. So I do appreciate you because you could just say, no, I ain't bring that black mother. You could have done that and you didn't. And I do honor you and appreciate that you for that.
Sometimes God brings someone in our life might be to shake it up. But let's pause. Look, y'all, hit that cash app and pay the producer. Producer J Cash App $ Producer J 1987. Y'all hit that cash app. It is at the scroll out and I can't see the scroll. Y'all know I had a modem problem. So hit that cash app. Tip the producer. Tip the producer. He's doing this, and I don't know how long we're gonna be on here. So I do want to say this with you. You made you talk about everything. You deal with all the podcasts, podcasters, just about. I don't know. I introduced you to Mayor Weaver when you were here. We were at the church. I think we were at the church then. I introduced you to her. But your presence has been it's been a roller coaster ride. So who would you like to work with here that you have not worked with?
Is his name Brian?
No, it is.
Yeah, I think that's what's listed on there.
Okay, because I was trying to send them a contribution. Is that the right person?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's the right one.
Okay. So I would like to. So honestly,
for that.
So here goes a dream. It wasn't $1 million. It was only 19. I had 19 of my personal dollars in there, so I sent them that. I'll send more another time because I do appreciate. I'm looking at this and I know how valuable the producer is. Y'all get it. Bless that man because it is. Thank you, sir.
I watched that one when you had super producer, and literally when I was on the other platform, the energy just shifted with her. And I was like, this is you just know. She would be in my chat, you know, making I'm like, what in the world? I called you and I never said I called. I said, hey, I said, why is she over here? And help me understand this. Why is she not with you? I called you. You said to me, you said, why? And I said, no, it was just the energy shifted. And, you know, I was like, I'm not understanding. And you said, no, let her do whatever she want to do over there, you know, 810 News Media Group. Let her do what she want to do. And unless she say something, then I'm going to say something. But you never said nothing. And there was a lot going on. So I was literally watching that. What's that story this girl did, or that lady did on TikTok? And she made money on it when she was married to a monster or something. And she was telling that story. Look, your girl was like this. Oh, wow.
You taking me out. You taking me out.
I called you about that.
So this is what I wanted to know, though, since I got you. So I'm trying to do a panel discussion with all the local broadcasting. You guys are all so important. And I just wanted to know if you guys would just do me that one favor. If I could get you on a broadcast with me with some other local broadcasters there in City of Flint.
Now, Jedediah, you know, this get ready to go. Let me say this.
Yeah.
In my personal capacity, I will, in my professional capacity, I will help anybody, even those that don't like me. But on my personal capacity, I will not let God take me back to something that He has delivered me from. And there's no ill will, but I have had people
with me, just talking to me.
Yeah, I have had, and here's the thing: they had issues with me. They got issues with my moderators, and I welcome you're an outsider. You say some stuff about Flint that people don't like, but I mean they don't want to hear it. But you say stuff, but we'll let somebody else say something. It's just the drama. No. I wish them the very best.
No, I said come on a podcast on my platform with me with local podcasters. That's all I'm asking you to do.
Now you know that word got back to me. Oh,
just talking to me.
Come on, because I gotta get a battery, because otherwise this is gonna die. So hold on a second.
Well, let me say this to you.
Okay. I'm listening. Hold on.
Okay.
I got to have a charger. Okay. Listen, your girl having major electronic issues. Tonight. Okay. Let's plug that in.
I'm in the business of the impossible, so I'm gonna keep on praying and asking.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you this. I love everybody because I'm a child of God. I understand that. But I'm not going back there, because let me tell you, there are some things that I have sent to you. I'm past it. I wish them the best. That's not a platform for Tonya Burns. It's not. It's not, because there are things which were when you question my character and my integrity, and I got to go to the Michigan State Police. No, thank you.
Well,
if it's any, that's in.
I got this answer, but I just know one thing: if I can go to jail for y'all, and if I can keep coming back for y'all, if I can't get y'all to come on a conversation with me, then that is crazy. I want to put this on the record. I love people who don't love me because I see past things into the core. So I'm looking at the name. And the name of the other advocate is not somebody that's been favorable or kind or even considerate of me. But I love what my assignment is too much to let them convolute who I am at the core. When I saw the name, I still came on. I would talk to them. I don't got a problem with being around them. I'll congratulate them when it applies, and I'll cuss them out when it applies too.
So there are other podcasters that I don't think that you mentioned. You got Mayor Karen Weaver. You have Carol McIntosh, Stephanie Rogers. They all have podcasting shows.
But let me
too.
say this, though. Let me say this, Councilwoman, because this is a great moment for me. I need to be clear. I have been asked to leave this city every time that I've come, specifically by that guy. And I want you to hear me. Arthur Woodson, in prayer. I can't hate you because I don't know you. When I actually look at what's going on and the fact that you are a male that have been active, no matter how you've been active, I love you for it. And I understand everything from a different lens. I love it because it's an active male, no matter if I agree or don't. And this is what I'm going to put it like this. I'm looking forward to the day when you can see the real me, because I think that for this to be successful, me and you going to have to see each other again. I don't think it. I know it. So I cannot, me personally, I can't let what I've experienced or what I feel or what I've gone through put up a block there, because if I tell God and there's an area where he can't move, then I restrict everything. So I just want that to be very clear. And if I can do that, and I'm
gonna be very clear too. This is not a conversation I will not have online.
Okay,
because
we're done. I'm done.
Yeah, not gonna, because there are some things I hold nothing, because the hatred is not in my heart, and they may have hatred for me, which I don't know what it is. But Flint has got it's different. Flint is a whole different thing, and it needs to be conversations one-on-one. I serve my ward and I help anybody in the city. What I won't do, like I said, is let God take me back. And I don't leave in a reckless way. I don't do that. I don't do that. But I mean, it's whatever that is. And even with you and Woodson, I do 2 different platforms. I do one over there with Mayor Weaver. Then I went actually with producer Jay, because when it was just time to leave, I don't like controversy. I make sure I put an educational component in my podcast, so that I'm bringing something that needs to be brought to the light. And my stuff, when I put it up, is factual. It's not tabloid. It's not something that you didn't read off the bathroom wall in a men's stall at the truck stop. I bring you documents so that you can regurgitate it and use it and say it with confidence that you know that you got the documents that came with it. So when I do my run and show, it is to educate. Anything other than that, I don't know. But that issue with that setup, I mean, with the folks you got, and one, I don't even know I ain't even never seen him where he be coming on. You seen him before? I ain't never seen him out doing nothing. And he got issues. People gonna have issues. Don't put me in a box with. I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
Well, so then I have one more ask. I'm gonna keep on praying about this show, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray this. I'm gonna ask this then. Then if I do end up being unjustly handled or political prisoner in any shape, form, or fashion, since I can't get y'all together right now, can y'all please make sure you do shifts? Somebody come in the morning, somebody come at night. Make sure y'all get me up out of there. Don't
listen. You was on 24/7 with me this last time. Stop. 24/7. I was taking calls with and making sure your calls to your mother, to your attorney, to your bishop. So come on now.
Yeah, I heard my mama talk to you. My mama love her some Tonya Burns. I don't know what y'all was talking about.
And it is back because we are both mothers. And I think your mom and I are the same age. So I told you I got a daughter 35. So, but yeah, I do. I do. So so worthy said time.
Oh no, yeah, I know.
Podcast. You wouldn't make the no. And let me say this with people. I take friendships and loyalty seriously. I do, and those who know me understand, and no ill will, because one person has said something. If they ever mistreated, I'm gonna be the first one to help them. I'm gonna be the first. But everybody ain't invited into my living room. I'm sorry.
Can I say something though? Can I say one last thing? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. This is your show. I just want to say one thing.
No, go ahead. You already bombarded, kicked the door down.
No. So do you know something that really, really moved me today?
What?
Like honestly, sometimes. So something that really moved me today was to watch or even if he didn't write it, was to read the statement that Donald Trump wrote about President Biden being diagnosed with that aggressive cancer. It really moved me today. And the reason why it moved me is because I've never heard him say anything good about that man. When life is just really too short. And I applaud y'all, everybody, for standing on their laurels. I do. And I respect you. Say it in the private, say it in the public. But I'm going to tell you what moved me is when I saw the humanity moment. And I think that the people of the city is only where they are because of the divisions. That's the only thing that have allowed it to go on so long. I guarantee y'all, there's going to be a moment.
Yeah, the divisions, which I don't care. I mean, look, people have not spoken to me, and they have literally called and asked me for help. And guess what I did? I helped them. Now, what I choose to do in my private time, I'm doing something that's enjoyable. Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay.
That's just, I mean, they could call and ask me, hey, Tonya, I need a ride. They know that I'm going to do it. Tonya, there was gunshots or the garbage wasn't picked up at my auntie house or a tree fell, a city tree fell. They will call and ask me and with confidence, no, I'm going to help because they have did this before. I can't get the police. Can you help me out? Absolutely. There's the people next door to this house. They doing this. Can you help me with it? Absolutely. Beyond my personal life, which people have to understand, I'm entitled to that. And I'm entitled to my space to where I'm not letting people, again, take me to a place that God has delivered me from. Yeah. That doesn't mean we have to love some people differently. And some of them people can be your relatives. It was a point literally when my brother was on drugs. And I remember coming home from work and I was teaching. And I'm like, I got home and my husband had my brother was there with this girl. I said, what is he doing here? And he said, oh, I thought he was. I said, no. I said, look, I want to hear you clapping because you ain't taking nothing up out of here. You in the bathroom. Them hands better be clapping. I know what they're doing. My home is my sanctuary. And so is my private time because I don't get a lot of it.
I hear you.
Today, taking calls from residents because I have power outages in my area on Concord, Clement, Winona, Stevenson Street. I take my last text message was 4:35 a.m. from a resident. Okay, so I work 7 days a week. So where I'm not trying to have anything that you may disturb my peace, and some things you can't look. I don't do mess. Not interested in it. Not doing it. I have even said at my council seat, when they start shooting all these shots, I will get up and leave. Page 26, section 3-104, that council members must show decorum and respect, not only to the constituents, but each other, to their colleagues. When respect is no longer being served, I'm getting up and leaving the table. Simple as that. So that's just where I'm at. And you're trying to do. You want to have a kumbaya. I don't dislike any of it. I didn't start any of this mess. This is the thing. I didn't start any of it. I did not. And I can't speak to those divisions. I didn't. I made some hard choices when my platform switched. That I didn't stay with the one. I stayed with the people because that's who I represent. I stayed with the people. And then when that got difficult, then it was just, it was what it was.
I got one more question before I gotta go because I know you're gonna probably have to get off too. But why is Judy's feet like that?
I don't see Judy's feet.
Judy's feet. Do is her pipes fixed?
Her pipes? What?
The water. It's I know you know the layout of the land. I'm just wondering, is Judy Priestley's area? Did they fix her water?
Listen, somebody was saying, I don't know. They said in her flip-flops, RL was walking around with a folder of her feet. I don't know who took pictures of her feet. I don't know who did that, but these people will take pictures.
Stinky. She looks so stinky. I just watch her twirl in the chair. I don't know you sitting up there with her. Do she stink?
I don't sit next to her. I sit next to Councilwoman Whitby Carter. So,
we about to put Jedediah off of here.
I mean, I got questions now. I got real questions. I'm I'm an honest man. Since I'm getting answers, I might as well get them. She do look like she's.
And let me say, Judy actually voted for Mays to be president of the council. Believe it or not, and that council shifted. It shifted, and so I mean, Flint is different. Flint is different.
The visual is actually comical because
very fair coming on, and me and Judy would talk about her canning and different things. Now the conversations are just people. It's split. It's horribly split and divided.
But it's really funny because I'm looking at the council and you got you and Jeffrey Winter Carter. Y'all hair always done. Y'all always looking presentable. And then
I got hairstyles, okay.
Yeah, but you look on the other side, and it's like you could tell Liddell just coming into
wear my hair down.
But she just coming into her moment, so she trying every week she can, and sometimes it be hitting, and sometimes it be like, girl, hell no. So it's like hit or miss, and it's like, but it's like you could tell she's new to this because sometimes the wig don't fit her face at all. And then Leon, I'm like, I don't know where they found this brother, but it's just really funny to watch both sides. And I just be like, okay, it's giving Macy's department store and Walmart, but you can clearly see the difference between. I'm sorry, y'all. So it Lord have mercy.
You are in trouble. Respectfully to my colleagues, I don't know who her. I don't watch nobody feet, okay? Because your girl just got her feet done, and I got the littlest toes ever. But the bottom of my feet do not look like asphalt, okay? They do not look like asphalt, okay? My toes, like literally, my toes are like this. I got little toes. Me and my sister have got the same little toes, but look, and your girl got her toes in my nails.
Yeah, y'all stay done up, and I appreciate that. But y'all know how to
let me tell you, my nails be so bad that when I get there, they be sitting like, tell Tonya, don't wait so long. And so I be your girl be busy. When I don't get it all.
Can I say this? Because somebody said personal attacks. Hell yeah. What you think the attacks that I got are? They are personal. They're personal attacks. We're there now. So if but one thing you can't say is that I'm lying. I don't just say things to just say them. I say things also because it be true, as well as hell, to help make them do better. Y'all sitting up there knowing that LaShawn, she might be nice. She got a very nice spoken, very well spoken, but her breath, horrible. So y'all just gonna sit there and think it, but you ain't gonna tell her. And you're going to get mad that somebody spoke it. Well, that's your problem. It ain't a personal attack. It's the truth. Liddell need to get a better set of wigs. Judy feet is terrible. LaShawn breath stank. Leon look lost. And Candace look like a monster.
Those are not the views of Tonya Burns. They are the views of Jedediah Brown. Those are the views. Listen, we all going to have some bad days. Jedediah, if you just go out like that.
See y'all in court. I gotta go.
Listen, thank you for coming on. And listen, y'all, I did not expect that. And so this lasted much longer than I thought. So listen, y'all, hit that $sign. Cash App Producer J1987. Hit that $sign. Thank you, Producer J. And to my moderators. Those were the views, not of Tonya Burns, but I got my feet done. I'm just gonna say, and I got them in yellow. I got them in yellow this time with a little flower on them. So listen, got them so happy, little sugar scrub up and down on my calves and my ankles. Y'all, I felt brand new. I felt brand new. The feet, look, the feet are cute. The feet are cute. The nails are done. So I needed that for myself. So I do want to thank Arthur Woodson and Jedediah for coming on. I did not plan to have Jedediah on, but that's how he moved. And so he will be here June 1st, which is a Sunday, looking to have church. They're going to be at the amphitheater. They're going to start at City Hall with that casket. I hope they get some more. It's called, I think it was Woodrow Green said it's a casket truck. I think that's what he said. But I hope they get one that's a little, I don't know if they're going to carry it or put it on that. If they're going to carry it, I don't know. but he will be here. I think he said starting at 2 o'clock. They're going to meet at City Hall. It will be on the Sunday. We're going to follow up. We want to hear his conversation that he had with Ed Taylor. I mean, I don't know how y'all think that. One, you think, put a 1 in the comments if you think it's going to go good. Put a 2 in the comments if he may as well not waste his time. 1 if it's going to go good. 2 if he shouldn't waste his time. Producer Jay.
So when he said that, I was like, Ed Taylor being diplomatic is not very possible, but
I don't see that. I don't. I mean, Ed is not gonna come in and be like, man, you bought okay, man. What you gonna have, man? You bought a gas in the mayor house. The wife, she upset and said she's scared. I mean, that conversation, is not going to probably go well. Patrick, Jane, you think that was enough too? Ed Taylor is the one who get everybody together for the mayor. I mean, that's just how it is. And I don't think it's going to be nice. I don't think it's going to go very well. But if it does, look, that'll be wonderful too. I hope that they listen to what his concerns are, because you reach out and say, hey, you're going to come on here. I'm going to call you. They've made him a martyr. So, Jeff Hill, yes, it is, but I know you can't take the truth from an outsider. They are all guilty. Okay. All right, Jeff Hill. Okay, I don't know where you're from, but hey, okay. Carl Lewis said, blame it on Ed. Ed take the blame from everything. So we will hear, he will be in court tomorrow. He'll be in Judge Crawford's court. It's 67th District Court. That's not the big court with the cannons. It's the other court down the street. So that's what it's going to be. Producer Jay, anything you want to say before we out of here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I want to say thank you to our moderators for being on. Sheena Beckton, Patrick, Jean. I appreciate y'all. And y'all happen to be outside. Wait, you outsider too, Producer Jay? Listen, you outsider. Got figure.
All the way outside.
Outsider to me.
All the way outside.
You are. People don't understand. You're not from here. And so my thing is, we can't let boundaries stop us or state lines. If it's something that works, then it works. So, look, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And even those who look, and everybody ain't gonna always agree with me, but y'all, look, I did get my toes done. They're cute and they're sunny yellow. So listen, to everyone who logged on tonight, thank you for joining me, and thank you, Producer Jay, because I could not produce the show without you. And to my moderator, Sheena Beckton and Patrick Jean, the outsider. I got all outsiders, y'all. All outside. But look, I got love in my heart for everybody. To even those who may not love me, I love you back. And if you ever need me, I got you. I got you. So, does Crawford's courtroom have Zoom? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. So, keep Beverly in prayer. When someone is shooting bullets in your car, that's dangerous. Someone throwing tacks or whatever, nails in your driveway is dangerous. Keep her and her family and her home lifted up in prayer. That is dangerous. Pray for the city of Flint and pray for the safety. We did have someone who was killed yesterday morning, approximately, I think, 9 o'clock in the morning on Tebow Street. So pray that there be an end to violence. We have a council meeting tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to be. So literally, and thank you to each and every one of y'all. I am sending y'all love. I appreciate you. And y'all, look, your girl tired. This was official hat day for me. I had my big hat on earlier. That Woodson really had some good jokes about my hat. But it was hat. Listen, before I go, if you have a young lady that's interested in an etiquette class or table manners and etiquette, Listen, contact me. Contact me if you have a young lady who was interested. It was a beautiful event. Go to my page, it's on there. And so today was you had to wear your nice dresses and your matching hats, and your girl had hers on too. Had hers on. So listen, and thanks to my Aunt Martha Mays, who was married to the late Pastor Mays, who happened to be the wife of who happened to be the stepmother of Councilman Eric Mays. Her purple hat was cuter than mine, y'all. So I wore my Aunt Martha Mays hat. Her hat was cuter. So her hat matched my dress and had the flowy little sheer material on it. So thank you to my Aunt Martha Mays for lending your girl her hat because it matched my dress perfectly, y'all. And she got probably like 200 hats because she was the pastor's wife. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And and don't forget to hit Producer Jay. we got Victor. You can put that up there, but I look kind of crazy on there, though, don't I? This was official hat day for the girls. And congratulations to each and every y'all. I had the purple hat on earlier with the purple dress. So to each and every one of you, the young ladies who graduated from Madame Mercedes Kinney's Table Etiquette and Manners, congratulations, because we need to be teaching our young ladies how to be young ladies. And y'all, I was so happy and impressed. It filled my heart to see these young ladies. So the pictures and the videos are over. I didn't put the pictures up, but the videos are over there. And so I'm just happy. So I'm getting ready to wear my other hairstyle where I'm going to brush my hair back into a ponytail. So, and that's what it's going to be. So Producer Jay, sending some love.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you. Oh, somebody, baby, going to say, all right now. Color purple. I look, y'all enjoy the rest of your week. I believe that things are shifting. Things are shifting in this in the United States. I think they're shifting. I think that we as minorities, as Black people, and as white people on here too, we got to start coming together for a better America. Don't ever give up your fight in a better Flint. A better Flint. We need real representation. So look, Producer Jay, y'all here and look. Don't forget to the producer. Y'all know.
I just had to put that comment up. Can you see it?
I can't see it.
It says, you can't see it?
Oh.
It says, Art not going to remember today, tomorrow.
Yeah, y'all know I'm going to have that whole conversation with him and how well that's going to go, right? Right. Y'all know that. DeAndre Jones said that damn plantation burned down. Ain't God. Listen, they buried our people were buried on there. They talk about all those great things going on, but you know what? Slavery was very real. You know, you are put as an enslaved person. You didn't have a choice. You were beat. You were forced to do work to not be paid. Our people were buried in that dirt. So, do you think people care about that? What? Then they've been killing with it. Burn, baby, burn. The internet is saying it. When you know your history. Being a slave was not a proud moment. Women being raped. There's so many egregious acts that went along with that. So many. But anyways, I want y'all to love somebody, do something great. And Producer Jay, thank you, Sheena Becton and Patrick Jean. To all my outsiders who are even in the chat, I'm going to send y'all some love too. Because look, I appreciate each and every one of you. You can't stop me from no state line, no boundary, no county line. You can't stop me. Producer Jay, we out. Y'all have a good week.
It's the Tonya Burns Show. Tune in right now. Like and share. Our city needs that file. Flint City News got truth to share. When we fight the darkness, we repair. Won't give up, we're standing tall and proud. Voices rising strong, no longer shrouded. Residents deserve what's right and fair. Together we can lift the despair. We fight, we win, we break the chains. Tonya Burns won't stand out in the rain. Our city dreams will make them true. With every step it all renews. Renew, step it all renews.